take like unexpected?
No, that was his Never mind. You're not getting the joke.
I'm not. No, sorry.
Not either, evidently.
I was a little sad looking at the list of games still that are currently slated for the rest of the year. I feel like this year is very Nick front loaded.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
You fucking.
We are live, by the
But
way.
there's also,
You fucking.
but there's also
and an asshole. You have Silksong on your list. I even typed it in there, and you didn't even consider.
you have it on yours.
Give me Mafia.
Whoa! You put it. It's one of yours. What are you talking about,
homie? You. Sorry.
Are you?
We fired 2 texts this week. Wait, are we live?
Yes.
Yes.
Are we?
Yes.
Oh, hi guys. I'm tired of people not listening or reading instructions.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I have been very out of it this week. Just. I'm on the struggle. I'm a little bit on the struggle bus today. I don't know what it is.
No, I offered it up because I didn't want to not talk about a certain big game for me. So I figured, well, you also like that game.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll take that. I thought the only one I saw your initial choices, of which it was on there.
I know. I typed more after that, but I got you. Well, do you have time to grab another trailer real quick, Chris Davis?
I can. Yeah.
I think that the one that you grabbed for me would probably make more sense in the second list for me. So, yeah, I will do that. Sorry, we're trying to be.
I'm gonna type it into. Okay, are you gonna be able to do that while we're watching this though, Chris Davis?
I can do 2 windows. I'm trying to.
Just let the man work. It's fine. Nobody
has
high expectation. Nobody has high expectations for the production value here. Let's just let the man work.
Tell you what,
let him do what he needs to do.
Okay, well.
All right, let me do this, and then I can.
I kind of want the third game to be this. See, you haven't watched this, right, Nick?
No, I have not.
And Chris Davis says he hasn't watched it, so it makes sense that y'all don't understand yet. But you will.
It's not that you don't understand. I'm sure it's going to be great.
But you don't understand what people who've seen this have. Like you can't walk a mile in my shoes because I'm living in a post Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct world.
Where are you posting this link that I need to grab?
Okay, yeah. Let me.
The man can't do 2 things at once, and that's not a knock. I can't do it either. So, what's up, everybody in chat? We can see you. What's up, Bog Noise, Winged, Ashif, Slade? Who's lurking?
Okay, yeah. All right, give me a minute.
Did you say who's lurking in my gherkin?
I gotta look.
Yeah, we're gonna do a trailer talk, and we're gonna do a top 3 tonight. Just FYI.
There's plenty of good shit coming out in the second half.
But here's the thing. I tend to if it doesn't have a date yet, I'm not giving most games the benefit of the doubt. There's not very many games that don't have a date yet where I'm like, I think that's coming out this year. Otherwise, it'd be easy. I'd be picking games left and right, but I think most of them are 2026 and beyond. The games that pop into my head, first thing I think of when I think of what's my most anticipated at this point, a ton of them are I doubt that's coming out this year.
Yeah, but what's the first list your brain goes to? Stuff you've pre-ordered or some shit?
No, just the games that I think about as in terms of when I think of high profile games that are on a lot of people's radars that I'm excited to play, the AAA stuff, the easy pickings stuff is
what makes me sad?
Not guaranteed for this year. And honestly, I'm a little hesitant for Silksong still. I'm not super confident.
Makes me so
I'm not
sad,
super
Nick?
confident. What?
Well, I mean, whatever. Changing the topic. What makes me sad a little bit is
this motherfucker in Ohio.
What makes me sad is
shit.
You won't forgive supermassive games. They used to be your favorite.
This guy is at a baseball game.
You play Man of the Dead. No one's at the game, dude. What team is that? They must suck.
I don't think he can hear us. Is
that a Major League Baseball game?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
It looks like there's tens of people there.
It's AAA. It's the bottom of the ninth. Everyone went home.
Oh shit. Sweet.
Are you having fun?
What's your favorite baseball video game, Crispy?
What?
What's your favorite baseball video game?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's basically like watching MLB The Show.
We'll go ahead and say MLB The Show then.
Ken Griffey Jr.'s baseball for the Super Nintendo, though. Am I right?
No, it's Super Baseball 2020.
He's getting delayed. He's getting it's coming through delayed for him. Give it time. Count it out.
All right.
Sure.
All right. No, I heard you. All right, I'm gonna go. Bye, guys.
Bye.
That was funny. Sorry, what were you saying, Brad, before we were so rudely interrupted? I'm just kidding. I love you, Crispy.
I don't remember.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Supermassive Games. Will you ever forgive them for Man of Medan? It hurt you so deeply that you refuse to acknowledge any future video game from them.
No, I also played Little Hope, and I tried playing that game like 3 times, and I just got tired of it.
You played like the intro to it, though, right?
No, I played like 2 or 3 hours of it, and I was like, no. I stopped. It's like, it just, the magic was, it was a one-time, it was magic in a bottle.
Okay, well, what about Directive 8020, which be ballooned into a full-ass supermassive game?
That doesn't it hasn't piqued my...
You've been watching trailers for that?
I've watched a trailer for it.
This motherfucker, dude. This is how I know you don't pay attention in trailer talk. I've had like 3 times on there.
Look, man, I don't know what to tell you. Supermassive games, I don't have the most...
Hey, maybe you could drag this one down a little bit and we can warm up a little while people show up.
Hang on. I'm getting...
So I can do a tweet or something?
I'm getting a different version of the trailer because the one I was going to grab was 45 seconds long.
I don't have trauma over Supermassive. That's not the right terminology. I just they've been doing a thing. I've tried the thing that they've been doing, and I've not been vibing with it.
Can I be real with you though? You liked the Corey, right?
I mean, I liked it more than Man of Medan.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I've liked a lot of things more than Man of Medan. Did you like the Corey?
I did, but I didn't like it nearly as much as I liked Until Dawn.
You might be overglazing Until Dawn. Have you ever revisited Until Dawn?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, most of the time I've revisited Until Dawn has been sitting on the couch watching my wife play Until Dawn because she loves that game.
That's not the same. But okay.
It's not the same.
Is she going to play Directive 8020 or?
Probably.
How about we watch this while I get set up?
I haven't watched this yet.
Also, real quick.
This came out today.
What am I doing with this video that I downloaded for you, Brad?
Huh?
You told me to download a video. I downloaded it. What am I doing with it now?
Fold
You're
it up
going to put it in your trailer talk. You're going to put it in our podcast. It's my number 3 or whatever.
Okay, well, you're going to have to call it out because I'm not going to know in advance what you're going to say. Okay.
Wait, what? What?
I don't know what's going on.
I gave him... So I swapped out one of mine. I gave Nick one of my games, and I added a new number 3.
Okay, and I don't know what that is, so...
It's the trailer you just downloaded.
No, I'm saying what you swapped out for Nick and what you dropped.
Here, I'm going to type it into our thing, so I'm not saying it out loud.
Yeah, do that.
Okay.
All right.
What'd you think about this one? Like, this is the first one that's has real co-op. You think it might be fun to play with like the lady?
Maybe, but...
Oh, wait. That's why we're talking about Supermassive, because this is also developed by Supermassive, your most hated developer.
It's not. My God,
Man of Medan sucks so much.
You love to take opinions that I have, like freaking mild opinions.
Fair. Yes,
and turn them into like huge things.
But listen, bro. You like Little Nightmares 1 and 2. And like when I said, aren't you hyped about this? You were like, I don't know. So what's with the reaction?
No, I mean, honestly, my hype for this has nothing to do with Supermassive. It has more to do with I don't usually like it when games that are like single player games make the jump to co-op because a lot of times it usually for me ends up losing some of its magic. I don't know. So I'm just a little skeptical.
Little Nightmares 2 seemed like a game that should have been co-op because you were with somebody else the whole fucking game, right?
And I like Little Nightmares 1. I think Little Nightmares 1 is still the best one in the series. And
yeah, but like in both those games, the puzzles are actually kind of mid. So maybe if you have a little bit of co-op action, it will be better. Not just
also,
that, but like
you also have to understand something. You have to understand something because my process of playing co-op games with my wife is very different than yours. We still haven't finished Split Fiction. We play co-op games together. We're having a blast with Split Fiction. The problem is we play Split Fiction for like 2 hours, like in bursts. We play it for like 2 hours, and then we put it down for like 3 weeks. That's just the way. That's just the way every co-op thing with us goes.
Or let me tell you real quick. I watched a little like gameplay scenario, and like the first 2 games, it's a mixture between of like light, basic ass puzzle solving, and also some stealth stuff, right? But like both of the characters have like whistles, like they don't have whistles, they can whistle. So there's actually a little bit of interactivity to the stealth because it's a co-op game now. And
trying to distract enemies while they
I'm saying I think gameplay wise,
it could be the strongest.
In the first 2 games it was somewhat middling, kind of a scripted.
I mean, I've never sat here and said that Little Nightmares is a game series that I love because of its gameplay. I think it's a vibes game more than anything else.
You're right, but what if it can maintain the vibes, but like be like just enough interesting enough to.
I mean, I hope
raise above middling into like, well, that was kind of a nice co-op thing. You know what I mean?
I mean, to answer your question, Winged, here's the thing. My wife and I are both very much like single player play. Like, we just like to sit down with our single player games. 99.9% of the time, we're playing something that's totally different from each other. She likes to replay things a ton. I'm always playing something new. We don't have a ton of gaming time, so like, the co-op gaming that we do it in bursts, and then there's usually a gap.
Another fact you should know about Nick is they sleep in the same room, but in twin beds, 2 feet apart. It's so weird.
Off. Oh my god, that's fucked up.
All right, next trailer. Sorry, I'm just saying, Supermassive's taking all the Nick L's these days, and I hate to see it.
I don't have anything.
I wanted to show this real quick because, Nick, don't be afraid of the visuals. I've heard really good things about this being a horror adventure game. Like
constantly this is taking shots. I'm catching strays.
No, I know, but I'm saying like, listen to me.
There's no strays being shot at you. They're just all in your direction.
This is like a really well regarded horror game that came out this year.
I don't doubt that. I mean, I don't have any problem with the way it looks.
Called Look Outside. It's very like Lovecraftian and kind of, well, yeah. I've heard good things. I've never seen a trailer. Maybe that. And here's some Brad slop. Okay, on from the Nick slop onto some Brad slop.
Legally distinct Castlevania.
Yeah, this is not even legally
so not
distinct.
just legally distinct Castlevania, like legally
questionable.
Like these motherfuckers used to make like Castlevania fan games, like what do they call them? Like the fucking Lacard Chronicles or whatever. I can't remember what it's called. And then they started making like real Castlevania, like original games instead of just fan games. They had one a few years ago called I don't know, something of Wallachia. Was a lady who shot arrows. But anyways, they released this last week or so, and I've heard decent things. I started playing it, but I didn't get far enough to like talk about it on a podcast.
So this is already out.
It's already out. I started playing it, and it starts like pretty like slow and clunky, but I hear it goes like full Igavania, so I'm kind of excited. Oh, there's even a crossover with one of the bosses from Bloodstain.
Hey, good for them.
I'm telling you, man, Bloodstain likes to get. I mean, they're trying to be the Shovel Knight of Brad Slop indies.
The Shovel Knight of Brad Slop.
They got their fingers in all kinds of indie games. The fucking Bloodstain characters. Remember they had that Blasphemous crossover?
Yep, I do.
This is some
look
crispy
at that sexy
slop.
mech.
Crispy slop.
I bet Crispy would be talking about this game if he was here tonight.
Yeah, I can't believe they're releasing a sequel to this fucking mech game. I didn't think anyone played the first one because it was like a Switch 1 game and it ran like shit. But now Switch 1 games are running better. Maybe I should circle back.
Well, it got a PC port later, which was better.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But I think this is like a full-on sequel coming out later this year. Crispy Slop.
I will say it's nice to see a single-player mech game.
Well, yeah. Nice to see a single-player anything, am I right?
Thank you.
I don't know.
Wait, are they actually just exosuits and not mechs? I can't tell now.
I think at that point you're splitting hairs.
I'm splitting hairs a little.
We're building up to DK here. We're warming up.
Mechs are bigger, and bigger is better.
I'm not gonna make the joke.
You don't need to.
I really appreciate that some people would like.
For a second there.
I really appreciate that there are some people out there who would be interested in watching a documentary about us or a mini documentary about us. But that's like producing a mini documentary would be like a full-time job, and that's definitely something we're not able to do.
What chat are you reading?
Somebody Winged said, or no, who was it? A chief said it'd be really cool if we made he asked if we had any interest in doing like a mini documentary.
Oh, and then his follow-up comment explains it. He says he's been talking to David lately.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, honestly, David is probably the only person who could probably take up that task and like actually try and do something with it at this point.
I don't see how at some point it's not going to turn into basically video game Tiger King, you know?
I mean, but people would watch that.
Yeah, they would.
I would watch that.
Fucking bitch.
Why are we
Chris
stopped?
Davis.
Why have the trailers stopped? Oh.
Are y'all ready for DK? All right, yeah.
Here
we go.
We're gonna watch this full.
All right, y'all gotta shut up and pay attention because I know y'all weren't. You're not. You don't feel about this game like I feel about this game, and that's because, it would be impossible for you to because you have not seen this yet.
So people are like really losing their minds over this, huh?
I hate you. That you have zero interest in watching this 17-minute.
It's not that. God
and
damn.
You too, Chris Davis.
I am sold on this game. I was want to get spoiled for shit.
You're full of shit. If you actually cared, you would have watched this.
I am sold on Donkey Kong Bonanza. I don't need to be sold more. Buy it. You had me at hello.
You're not interested enough to watch a fucking direct.
Who is that?
That's Paulina.
Oh, what?
The mayor of New Donk City.
So many bad things are happening right now. It's Pauline, first of all, you motherfucker.
Whatever.
I'm gonna go ape shit on y'all.
Okay, how many ape puns are we gonna have to deal with in the next 17 minutes?
All right, I want y'all to actually pay attention because you're gonna see, like, by the end of this, you're gonna be like, oh shit, I don't know. Mayo's sweating over there?
Is this the Super Mario Odyssey?
Verso,
yes, this is the Super Mario Odyssey team.
His collar.
No. I'm saying, is this the Super Mario Odyssey of the Donkey Kong world?
Yes.
Please watch this.
I'm gonna close my eyes if you say that one more time.
Like I believe you do that in real life. Like if someone were to like walk up with a trailer, you would just close your eyes and run away.
That's not me. You clearly don't know me. I did not make the active decision.
Can we get enough audio here? We have enough audio here. Can you crank up the audio a little bit?
I did not make an active decision, by the way, to like not watch this.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The movement looks really good in this.
Damn, here's that Red Faction gorilla shit. That's pretty wild.
It looks really good.
You can even do this to a massive rock formation. You know, if you want.
Why would you do that? You're destroying art.
Because you can.
You also collect golden bananas known as banandium gems.
Wow.
Banana.
More on those later.
Banana.
Let's take a look at some of the things this
There's so much yellow in this game.
punch.
That proves to me that Nick hasn't seen shit.
I didn't say I had seen shit.
And
I'm just pointing it out. Lots of yellow.
incredible force. Destruction can lead to discoveries. So set off a chain reaction.
You will be different people by the end of it.
The thing in
Different
my head I
people.
have to ask is like, there's got to be a limit, right? You can't destroy everything.
How deep you punch
No, you can't. Hey, chunk jump, y'all. Y'all ready?
the terrain.
Chunk jump. Yeah. By the way, notice the
High speed.
comparisons to Pragmata.
With punches and jumps to really mix things
Wait, why is
What?
there comparisons to Pragmata? Because
Look
Pauline's
at
riding
the
on his
movement,
back.
y'all. Look at the movement.
to collect scattered items.
I mean, yeah, it looks
Detect hidden
it looks fast and responsive, which is, you know.
You can even use
And
Good
importantly,
for
you're
a
stringing different
platformer.
kinds of moves together.
tear off.
All right.
Grab a chunk of terrain and tear it off.
You don't understand the Pragmata comparisons?
Find items.
Is it because the little girl riding on his back?
Chunks off your foe.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Damn, you took a chunk off of an enemy?
Grab a chunk and swing it to attack.
Instead of hacking, she
Be
sings.
used to break stone with ease. Or smash spiky thorns. Chunk jump.
Chunk jump.
Use a chunk to double jump. This will help you reach new
Jump
heights.
jump.
Damn. But so there's no double jump. You have to chunk jump.
Throw a chunk.
Well, you got all kinds. Just keep watching, man. You have literally have seen nothing yet.
Throwing a boom rock or gold can have explosive effects. If you throw
Is this the Breath of the Wild of Donkey Kong?
surface and pile them up.
Oh, somebody's gonna make a penis immediately.
Serve.
Like the
I was
phone
already-
gun from Shadow Complex.
Speed up and aim for small.
Damn. Ooh, that's fun.
Make music. The power of Pauline's singing will help show you the way. It can also
Motherfucker
remove
called her
these
Paulina.
strange seals that someone left behind.
This is when we find out he never played Mario Odyssey.
Discover in the underground world.
Bitch.
I did play Mario Odyssey. I just couldn't
No,
remember.
he's
his
talking
name.
about
Chris
me.
Davis.
Oh.
Played
They
a
got
lot
all
of
the
it.
fucking rare music in this shit. It's so good.
Is New Donk City gonna be in this?
Dude, I hate to break it to you,
I mean,
but fuck. Mario
logically,
Odyssey,
that'd be
dude.
like an epilogue thing.
The many
Wait, did you say fuck Mario Odyssey?
Keep watching.
variety of habits.
It's
That's-
an ostrich, or is that an
Mario
emu?
Odyssey is old
Zebra.
and dusty compared to this shit.
By DK's destructive tendencies.
I feel like Brad,
Kong and his companions
you're letting you're.
are also
I rarely see your hype get out of control, but I feel like maybe we need to have an intervention.
Yeah, we need to have a talk.
who call the
Okay,
underground
we'll see.
world home.
We'll see. You talk to me at the end of this.
They're said to possess ancient bonanza.
Look at those shoes.
By learning their bonanza powers, Pauline's singing can do something special. She can make Donkey Kong transform.
So did Chris Davis play Odyssey?
Incredible destructive powers.
Yes.
Hard terrain.
I was about to say,
Fuck are you on? Of course
He
I
would be
played
fucking-
Odyssey.
You've surprised us with
On
too
the
many.
spot.
Like,
It was
I've
on
never-
my top 10 that year, bitch.
Okay, well, yeah.
Easily
but
my
it was-
top 5, I think.
But like
We
too
would've
many
fired you on the
times.
spot.
As he is,
Zebra
Oh my God, he
bonanza,
turned into
y'all.
a-
Look
he
at this
turned
shit.
into
Look
a
at this shit.
zebra. Oh my God, he's running on water.
Yeah, keep watching.
It's
Yeah, Chris Davis, you have a history of this shit where you're like, I've never played a second of Tetris. You do that shit all the time to us.
ostrich.
That's pretty funny, actually.
And soar through the
So I have a question, Brad. Maybe you're probably just gonna tell me to shut up and watch the video, but
You should shut up and watch.
updrafts to gain
It's
more
far from over.
so is it open world?
drop egg bombs from
No,
It's
you
open
really don't know
levels.
much about this game. Yeah, no. It's like Odyssey, kind of.
yeah.
transformations
world.
don't last forever, though. You can transform again by collecting gold to build up your Bananergy.
Bananergy,
Listen,
damn it.
Such a good term.
You're not limited to when or where you transform, and you can swap between transformations. So get creative and use them as you adventure to the.
Look at this shit. When and wherever you want, string that shit together. This mogs Mario Odyssey movement.
Is the Void Company, the
If there's like a DK version of like Balloon Hunt from Odyssey, like you could create some insane shit.
Challenges.
Oh yeah.
Oh, just wait.
Was that a butt plug? I'm sorry, that was inappropriate.
That your mind is poisoned.
My my mind is poisoned.
Poisoned with fecal matter.
He's got shit for brains.
You're totally right. It is. It is. I'm not even gonna deny it.
Look at this shit. Voice acting. DK, this is the best DK has ever been, and all the stupid idiots who are like, I miss my Super Nintendo Donkey Kong. How dare they change him? They're actual idiots.
Can you imagine if this had been a launch title though for the Switch 2?
It is a launch title. In 5 years, you won't even think of it as not a launch title.
That's true, I guess.
It came out a month after launch. It's the same shit, dude. You like every launch in history, a game that came out a month later is just a launch game.
Launch window.
That's even like not even stretching it out the window as much. I mean, that's like early launch window. I think people say launch window when a game comes out in the fall and they want to consider like a game that came out in January part of launch.
I guess I'm just too literal. Like if I pick up a console on launch night and I can't buy it at the same time, I don't usually consider it a launch title.
Look, we got challenge rooms. Listen to the music. Beautiful. Let me ask y'all, did y'all
it's more Donkey Kong Country. It's great.
Look at this. Fucking shrines, motherfucker. Clever solutions.
They had to have a minecart level, of course.
That should make all those people happy. All the idiots, as Brad put it.
Nothing will ever make them happy.
No, it's okay to like Donkey Kong Country, but like, remember what I was saying about Resident Evil last week? There's a surprising amount of lore talk in these.
There was some stuff you said about Resident Evil.
There is a surprising amount of lore in these Donkey Kong threads. It's lore discussion. This shit.
I think that is silly for Donkey Kong. I do not think it's silly for Resident Evil. I will die on that hill.
We're not going to talk about your nonsense. Look. Pause this shit. All right. Well, pause it in a second. Look at this. Look at these multiply upgraded skill points. Continue. It's a fucking RPG.
Or the destructive power of your punches. Power up Donkey Kong to match your playstyle. For example, if you strengthen your sonar, you'll be able to detect treasure from further away.
That was actually a really clever way of showing that. Haha.
Or use skill points to learn new skills.
Skill points to learn new skills?
It looks very smooth. Like the movement, like the speed of climbing, I feel like they got just right.
It's almost like this was developed by the main 3D Mario team.
Yeah, shut up. We don't care about that. Everyone knows.
I care.
Actually, they gold. All these like banana puns, and then they just call gold. Look at the shop. Look at the shop. They've actually come out and said that it is a spin-off team formed from some of the younger people who like worked on Odyssey. Which is
that supposed to give us hope that they're actually working on the 3D Mario at the same time?
Look at this! Look at this!
Yay! They have clothes.
No! You motherfucker! Watch! Oh, keep going. Pause on the next screen.
Pants.
Look at this shit. Pause. What does that look like to you?
Clothes with stats.
Perks?
Yeah, level 1. What's that look like to you? Breath of the Wild armor, motherfucker. Loadouts, motherfucker. Keep going.
Oh man, Brad's about to cream his pants. Swimming.
I'm gonna go for max surfing speed. I'm gonna go for max ice skating speed.
Be really good if they have fucking loadouts.
Damn.
Showing the location of vanadium gems or fossils. Their locations will be marked on your map. Pretty helpful.
Level destruction real time for the map. I like that.
That's pretty cool. Ooh, fossils.
Making it easy to see how close you are to completion.
Collectathon.
Oh no. Oh no. They're gonna tap into my fucking checklist addiction.
Yeah, you're fucked.
And enjoy listening to tunes with the music player.
Listen to this.
You might even find new discs when defeating enemies.
If the DK rap is not in this, I will be very upset.
If you would stop talking, you would actually be listening to the DK
It
rap
is.
right now.
Thank you.
That is.
Wait, is it only going to be like the DK portion, or are they going to go into the other apes? Because if you are,
it's probably
if you are censoring like Funky Kong and all the others, you should just be ashamed.
Donkey Kong 64 is bad.
No one's questioning it.
Zero Skies has a very important question. Does this game have stranding?
It has
some form of stranding.
Bananding?
Oh no! Oh no!
Nick.
Oh no! Oh my god, look at the filters.
Donkey Kong Bonanza has a photo mode and fucking
look at the
33 does not.
They made the Mario Odyssey multiplayer mode better. Look at this shit.
What?
You shoot words.
You can also copy the material of nearby terrain to give your vocals even more texture.
This is like
by working together, even tough enemies
almost like there's way more going on with this game than you realized.
It's not that I didn't realize there was stuff going on.
No one realized. No one knew. No one knew. They've showed so little of this game until this time.
I mean, when I heard it was from the Mario Odyssey team, I had a feeling it was probably not just going to be a straightforward Donkey Kong game. We've been
no
pretty
one
confident
actually
about that.
knew that because here's the thing. The Mario Odyssey team has a smaller team, like the motherfuckers that made Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. So there was a very real concern that this might have actually been a smaller project. Part of it was because this is a lesser price than like Mario Kart. This is not an $80 game. This is a $70 game. So I think ever since people heard that, they're like, oh, it's going to be lesser Nintendo, maybe just like Kirby tier or some shit. When in reality, I'm glad we have this instead of like a Mario Odyssey 2. This looks way more fun. Look at this shit.
Oh my god, there's gonna be some absolute monstrosities.
So good.
So many penises.
Oh, they're making one.
It's a tentacle. Hentai.
It's a hentai tentacle. Oh my god. Oh, so many cocks.
This game also supports amiibo accessories. A new Donkey Kong and Pauline amiibo figure is also on the way. Scanning it unlocks
You gonna get that, Brad?
Man, I'm not buying an amiibo. It'd be cool if it was like a giant amiibo.
Gold Kong tiles with explosive power will appear.
There's Diddy and look. Do you see him back there?
I saw him.
That was like the first. That's Diddy's reveal.
Wait, let's go back. I want to see that again. Yeah,
There's
there
Diddy.
he is. And the other one from game 2.
Wow.
Dixie.
From game 2.
Dixie.
From game 2.
I didn't remember her fucking name.
They didn't make Dixie Kong Racing, otherwise I'd remember that.
They did do Dixie Kong's Quest.
If they reveal that Diddy Kong Racing exists in this world and you can play it, game of the fucking year.
No, that's just going to be the expansion for Mario Kart World.
Ah, I don't want that.
Man, I love this DK Globe. I wish Nintendo cared about like, Advance Wars this much. Or fuck.
Oh my god, they're gonna have like Disney level musical numbers.
I mean, think about the most memorable part from Mario Odyssey, right? It's Pauline's level. New Donk City. Did y'all not get that far?
I did. God damn it!
Look at this shit. Rewind that. What was that? Fucking Ramby Racing level?
Yeah.
Fucking last level of Halo?
Why is he trying to squeeze one out?
I'm saying Verso is sweating. Verso is sweating right now, y'all. He's sweating.
So what games are stupid enough to be launching against this?
There's really not a ton in July.
I mean, it's summertime.
Yet, anyways.
There's certainly something.
Verso just started Mael just started a letter writing campaign to Jeff Keighley. Say, please don't take this from us.
Oh, King Carry, that's really good. That's really good. Crypto Kong.
Oh my goodness. Are we ready? Are we ready to go? Is it time?
So now if you were to go, oh, I don't know. I mean, I do like Dying Light. Like you see what I'm saying? Like DK.
No,
this
I
is
don't
like
see what your point is. I never said I wasn't excited for this.
Quality shit.
And I never said it wasn't.
And no one was gonna talk about DK.
I thought it's on your fucking list.
You said it, Brad.
Show me the screenshot right now. Show me.
Is it not? Is it not?
It's not. It's literally not.
Well, then that's my mistake. Only reason I didn't even think to pick it is because I thought it was on your list. What am I thinking?
The first thing I told you was that my list is very obvious, and that because there are literal like I named my children after some of these franchises. What I'm saying is like I can't have everything because I have to have obvious ones, and so there are amazing games that are being left off. So when I see you struggling to like, I don't know,
Brad, shut the fuck up for a second. I would have picked Donkey Kong Bonanza if I didn't already think it was on your list, and I don't know why I thought it was on your list. Honestly, I am more comfortable putting it on my list than Silk Song.
I mean, maybe DK got his flowers before the podcast. I don't know. I mean, we can shout out DK.
Mina or DK if someone wants Silk Song.
Well, we're trying not to. Look, we don't.
Yeah,
we're gonna.
You missed a large part of that. Those messages.
Yeah, I was very busy.
Why don't you read it all?
No.
Sure.
We're going forward. We will make sure we mention
4:08 p.m. Yeah.
We will.
Don't read it out loud. Just start from the top, bro.
We will make sure we mention it. Also, one thing we didn't do last week, and I don't know if you want to do it this week at all, maybe at the top of the show, if at all, is we didn't mention any of the stuff that happened in Fantasy Critic. Do you want to talk about any of that stuff?
Did anything happen in Fantasy Critic?
All those bids, all those pickups, including all the stuff that I picked up.
Yeah,
let's do that. Let's do that. But are we doing like years? This is not a normal podcast, though, right?
No, it's not. I mean, no, it's not. But like,
so
we
could just talk about Fantasy Critic now before we start or something. Usually start at 9 anyways.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, the only reason I like to do it on the recording is for people who don't watch this live. But
yeah, I know. But like, it's not even a regular podcast. And there's
all right, fine. Then let's just go ahead and record. And if we want to talk about
you did have a lot. I mean, there was some action finally. So I get it. And like, props to you. These other knuckleheads, though, still. Nolan has literally only lost games since the start of this year.
Yeah.
He only has 4 games.
Let's save it. Save it.
We don't typically put Fantasy Critic slop into like a top 5 podcast, though, right? Like this is its own.
No, we don't.
This is a timeless thing here.
Is it timeless?
Well, our topic is a little too lazy to be timeless, but it's still fun. It's still fun.
We don't have to do it on the show.
That's why I demanded a twist. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do know what you mean. All right, hold on a second. It's getting hot in here. I'm turning the temperature.
So take off all your clothes.
Oh, that was really smart. That was really clever of you guys.
I think he got the line wrong anyways.
He did. All right, hold on. I got to do my little sound test here. Got to deafen the call once.
Be nice, Prince. Be nice.
Okay, I'm ready. Donkey Kong anyways on Fantasy Critic?
I thought you did.
That's right.
I had it last year, you motherfucker.
You had it last year when it wasn't even like a rumor yet, you crazy person.
It was a rumor.
Wouldn't that be really funny if they announced a new Ace Combat game in January?
Dude, Chris, as
long as it happens, I don't care. As long as the game exists.
Well, yeah, of course. But I'm just saying, like, for the sake of Fantasy Critic, it'd be funny.
I don't give a shit.
This is why
I'm not saying you have to.
I will. When it comes to video game news, he will always know the names of the children of anybody who's ever worked on an Eastern European developed video game. That's true. I will never have Chris Davis on that. But there is Ace Combat news out there that I know that Chris Davis doesn't.
You're going to tell me.
Yeah, I will. I'll tell you on the podcast. Because you are going to be getting a game in the Ace Combat universe this year.
Oh, he's gonna.
I don't like that sinister tone. I don't like that at all.
Brad has been waiting for this moment.
Look at those eyes. Look at the eyes, chat. He is plotting against me and smiling internally.
No one in chat spoil it.
Devastation that he wants to bring to my soul.
No. People in chat might not know, but I do. So
I know exactly.
Y'all might not know, but I don't want anybody in chat to spoil it.
I don't explicitly know what he's talking about, but I can tell you right now, I'm pretty confident I could guess.
I'd be surprised if Nick knows.
I don't know, but I feel like I can. You want me to guess right now what I think you're going to tell him?
No, I want to
save it.
Well, we're not going to. The podcast.
All right, look.
Are we going to put this on the podcast?
All right, dude, we can put whatever. It's our podcast. We can put whatever the fuck we want on it.
Let's just make it a regular show. Just go.
I am recording.
I am recording.
Nick, your mic sounds really good this week. I don't know what you did.
It sounds really good?
Oh, yeah, did you swap out your fucking cable?
No, I didn't.
You're...
I don't have an answer as to what's happening then. Either way.
Happy Pride Month, y'all.
You're saying I sound...
You had the same issue last week, and I thought you were going to swap out your cable.
He's saying I sound good, and you're saying I have an issue.
No. You had an issue last week.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm not preoccupied so far.
I'm just telling you, I've been preoccupied, mentally preoccupied.
Okay. Did you swap out the USB ports, though?
No, I didn't do that either.
You have not done a single thing.
But according to Chris Davis, I sound better right now than I have in the previous weeks.
You have. You do.
You don't sound better. You're just not cutting out yet.
Well, that's what I mean.
So,
well, we'll see. Whatever.
Well, now you're making me fucking nervous. I listened to a little bit of the audio last week, and I didn't hear it.
You didn't hear it last week?
No.
I think it usually comes in towards the end, maybe.
It might be just a Discord thing, honestly. Like if it's not coming up on your Audacity, then I still.
Unless I'm just. I don't. Full disclosure, I don't listen to the podcast from start to finish when I edit every week. I would never be able to get any of these things done. So I jump around a lot. I line things up. I jump around. I look for any oddities in the audio qualities or in the like spikes or anything that I need to like adjust, and then I call it a day. So little inside baseball there. I'm just saying, when I was jumping around, I didn't hear any static. Do I sound okay to everybody in chat?
Yes.
Okay. So is everybody recording?
I'm restarting my recording.
Yeah, let me restart.
All right, I'll restart mine as well. All right, I am officially recording again.
I am also recording again.
All right, then roll call for the podcast starts now. Brad.
Hello.
Chris Davis.
Hello.
All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to 4Player Podcast. This is, I don't know if we really kind of determined whether this is a regular show or a top three. We're doing a top three tonight. As to whether or not that makes this episode 839, I'm not sure. I also don't think it gives, I give a shit. That's what we're doing tonight. We're going to do our top three most anticipated games for the rest of the year, but with a twist. Brad, would you like to explain the twist?
And what so, because I think some of these games are going to be obvious for us, right? Because there's some big games coming out this year, especially for this guy, right? In the back half, we're going to do a top three. It's a double feature, y'all. You're getting a bonus top three in the back half. Our top
Some
three.
might even call it top six.
No, well, it's not a top six. We're also going to do a top three unexpected picks for the back half of 2025. The
Maybe
games
some
that
lower profile.
you might be surprised that are on our hype list. At least that's.
I think that's where you're going to find a lot of the person-specific slop, as we like to call it, right?
Yeah.
No,
slop
right?
feels like such a strong term.
I was looking at my list and I was like, that's some Nick slop there, but like I'm cool with that. That's what this is for, right? Is to bring awareness to games we think people should pay more attention to.
We're officially recording, right? This is the podcast.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so can I talk to Chris Davis here for a second?
Oh God, here we go.
You can do whatever you want. It's our podcast.
It's gonna dash my dreams right now. Let's go.
Do it. Dash them. Dash them.
Okay. Bandai Namco updates the UGSF timeline for the first time in 10 years to include Shadow Labyrinth.
Oh, I know
Pac-Man. You know about this?
Yeah, they're like meta timeline for like 2 games.
I know, but did you know Ace Combat was in there?
Ace Combat 3 specifically, yes.
Okay. Well, he knew.
Wow, Brad, you thought you had him and he fucking.
Well, I mean, why didn't he bring it up? Why didn't he bring it up when I said he's getting an Ace Combat?
Because you know why he didn't bring it up? I can tell you exactly why he didn't bring it up.
Because I'm not getting an Ace Combat game. That is like meta lore for Shadow Labyrinth.
But you're a lore boy. To you, it's all the same shit. It's the strange reel in your heart.
Even Chris Davis can sometimes identify when when something he's thinking about will get that reaction. You know the reaction we're talking about, right? He doesn't want to give you the ammo. He doesn't want to tell you about the nerdiest shit imaginable.
Right. He don't want to let me have this one. Are you going to play Shadow Labyrinth? Because you kind of have to, right? It's in the Ace Combat timeline.
Aside from the fact that Ace Combat is 0.0001% related, I've actually been hearing some interesting things about it. I've been kind of thinking about it.
I heard it's
okay.
Maybe don't draft it for Fantasy Critic, but
what the interesting thing he's been hearing about is that it's part of the Ace Combat universe. Therefore, he's going to play it.
Suddenly, I might play a Pac-Man game.
I've been hearing
this man's going to say, "I've never played Pac-Man before."
Brad, I think we need to establish for Nick exactly what this Bandai Namco meta universe is, because it is insane what they have come up with. They are taking like 80s side-scrolling, like Gradius is part of this Pac-Man, Dig Dug. They're all one interconnected universe.
Like that's got to be some people they're trolling, right? Like this is just making fun of how obsessed people are.
This is like a there's universe. Crossover stuff in the game, dude. I saw a boss fight. There was preview coverage that lifted from SGF. They showed a boss fight that was like a boss from Splatterhouse.
What the fuck?
This shit actually looks pretty legit. I don't know, but I heard it kind of plays like.
I mean, that is interesting. That is definitely interesting. But anyways, let's get down to business, shall we? We are doing
here? Let's go.
So it's just the three of us, but we each have 6 games, and we did kind of coordinate.
Did he ever figure out my footage from my number 3 or whatever that I swapped out?
Yes, I just need you to call it out so that I can set it up in the scene.
Don't worry.
My number 3 is going to be the one I typed into the meetings channel.
Okay.
You hopefully got the trailer for.
Let me get this out. This out.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's just the three of us tonight. Crispy is off gallivanting in Ohio, apparently.
He's at a baseball game.
He's at he jumped into our call tonight from a baseball game, which was interesting. That's never really happened before. But anyways, so we got 3 of us tonight. We each have 6 games. We did some coordination on the games that are in the first half. So there's no overlap. We don't know if there's any overlap in the second half. Although that's where things start to get a little more obscure, maybe. And I have a feeling there's just naturally not going to be much overlap, if any at all. So we'll see what happens with the second half. But first half, we have at least 9 games to talk about. I will say this because there was some confusion, and part of this is my fault, I suppose. I take full responsibility for this, but I want to make sure because Brad was worried that we weren't going to get this in now. But before the show, during trailer talk, we watched the entire Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct,
of which Chris Davis and Nick had not seen.
Correct, but he's taking it personally.
I know Donkey Kong looks good, but you know,
I did not intentionally. I did not actively make the decision to not watch it. I didn't watch it live because I couldn't, and then I just haven't pulled it back and watched it.
But there are some things you seek out, like buttholes. You know, like there are things that you make an effort to find. You scrounge around for them.
You really
you know?
Scrounge around.
That was a weird
butthole.
Yeah, that's. Okay. I mean, touche. Okay.
We know where to find those. Like you don't have to scrounge at all.
Some people are like, "Oh, there's a DK Direct. Let me go check that out because I'm hyped about anything Nintendo's releasing."
So here's the deal. Because of this, because I was, for whatever reason, I've been a little distracted today. I was under the impression that Brad had already called Donkey Kong Bonanza, so I thought it was off the table to talk about tonight. So nobody ended up putting it on their list, which is a goddamn shame, obviously. We watched the Direct. Not that I needed any convincing, but it was very impressive. And I will say this. I want to make sure we give it
the back half of the year is shit for a guy like me.
I didn't. You need to learn how quotes work, bro. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. All I'm trying to say is I want to make sure it gets the credit it deserves because I think there's no doubt in our minds that all of us will be playing Donkey Kong Bonanza next month when it comes out.
People knew that, but like what came to light as part of this Direct, if I may sum it up, is that at first it seemed like a really. You know how Nintendo like kind of reveals these projects these days? They're not like very good at it. I feel like, you know, like even like Breath of the Wild and like Tears of the Kingdom, they didn't reveal those games with like an epic trailer. They kind of just showed, oh, here's a little bit of Link running around, and by the way, this is gonna be an open world game. You know, like they got kind of bad at that stuff. And I feel like when they revealed Donkey Kong Bonanza, people were like, oh, well, that's cool tech. It almost seemed like a tech demo, right? And then people played it at the Switch event and they were like, oh, that was kind of fun, but I don't know. I mean, maybe it's kind of a tech demo. Who's developing it? Is the Odyssey team? I mean, that's been like the kind of everyone's question, right? Is this the Odyssey team? It's probably the Odyssey team.
The only reason why they're asking that question is to find out whether the game.
At the time, the product that they showed us looked cool, but it did not seem like something on the scale of a Mario Odyssey. It seemed like a cool Donkey Kong game, a cool take on Donkey Kong, cool tech.
With some cool destructive
but like they didn't show the full scale and scope of what Donkey Kong Bonanza is. This Direct did that, and now we know it is something on the level of a Mario Odyssey. And we super did not know that before. That's all.
That's fair.
That's all.
That is fair. That is fair.
I think that the reason why people were asking the Mario Odyssey question was to find out whether there's going to be a delay for years between this game and the next 3D Mario game. That's the primary question people are really thinking about.
I think that's a question.
Look, Nintendo already said this is a new spin-off team, so like, yeah, there's going to be more Mario games, bro.
It's a fair question to ask, but to Brad's point, Nintendo would never let a prolonged period of time go by without a Mario game in development.
And
unlike Galaxy 2 to Odyssey. Right, gotcha.
What are you talking about?
He's saying the gap between Galaxy 2 and Odyssey was really long. But
but everyone forgets that they released like, you know, Bowser's Fury, which was like almost like a full entire like brand new take on Mario.
By the way.
In between the Odyssey, but whatever. That's besides the point. The thing is, the evidence was in front of us all along. Because at the very, very end of Mario Odyssey, the big climactic moment at the end of that game, you throw Cappy on Bowser, and as you're running through the stage, the final moments of the game, you're fucking destroying the environment, everything in front of you as Bowser. Dude, that was the seed for the Mario Odyssey team. That was it. That was it.
That was
Anyways. It looks hype. Of course.
It looks hype.
It's one of the most anticipated games. Maybe this is our top most anticipated games for the second half of the year, brought to you by DK.
Sure, that's fair. I think it looks fair. Incredible. Top 3 games.
It is more than just a Red Faction joke.
This is our 4Player podcast, top 3 most anticipated games of the second half of 2025, brought to you by Nintendo's Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Brought to you by Nintendo's
Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yeah. We're not getting money from this, people.
We're not getting money. Dude, I wish.
Outfits that you could level up that give you skill bonuses. It's gonna be so sick. By the way, the drip Paulina. I'm calling her Paulina now. How dare you, Chris Davis?
Anyway, Chris Davis was poisoned to the well.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, can we move on? Let's. So that is it. That is it for Donkey Kong.
I gotta say. No, wait. Hold on. One last thing. The comparisons to Pragmata, I've heard it brought up. It's not just that you have a girl as a backpack, but like, in neither of the games are they wearing shoes. What's going on? They don't make shoes for fucking kids anymore. Put some shoes on these kids.
No, here's the thing. That's a question. That's a fair question.
She's in the wild.
I don't even know if I want to go down the rabbit hole of trying to find an answer to said question, because I have a feeling
people have gone down the rabbit hole.
It could get real weird real fast, and I just don't want to go there. But let's get on to the actual list tonight. And as you know, if you've never listened to our shows, our top 3 or top 5 shows before, when I say top 3, we're each doing a top 3. So between the 3 of us, we got 9 games to talk about in the first segment. 9. Donkey Kong Bonanza, I guess, makes it an even 10. Yeah. So that's nice. And so let's just start. I'm going to let Brad kick us off with his first pick.
It's a little bit of an underwhelming pick for me, but I wanted to make sure that I was being like true to myself with my choices, right? Like I don't want to put out a podcast saying my top 3 most anticipated games of the list and not actually have it be my top 3 games, which again is why we're doing the twist. Because
so you're in the boring segment right now.
Because there's no overlap, and Nick took my what would have honestly been on my list. It kind of like I went next step down, and for me that makes my number 3 Mina the Hollower, which for some reason I confused Chris Davis a lot. I don't know. I'm sorry, but I think there should be footage.
You're a confusing man.
With I wasn't confusing.
Oh my god, is this just somebody? Okay,
there we go. We got
whatever.
The footage.
She's just introducing it. She's just introducing.
Didn't we have actual Mina the Hollower footage that Brad recorded like last week?
Yeah, we did.
Okay,
but
well,
no. I want you to loop the trailer because the trailer is like really fucking good. One of the reasons I'm so hyped for Mina the Hollower, and this goes ever since they like unveiled the game on Kickstarter many moons ago, right? Is that if you look at these trailers and look at this shit, there is so much cool shit going on in Mina the Hollower. And I played Shovel Knight. I love Shovel Knight. I've played the DLC. There's a lot of cool stuff going on in the DLCs, but you can't cut a Shovel Knight trailer that looks like it has the fucking variety that you can see in any given Mina the Hollower trailer. This is classic isometric Zelda meets Castlevania, right? That's why it's coming on Halloween. We get this lovely lady at the beginning of the trailer every time we loop it. I'm cool with that.
That's your fault, Brad.
What, my fault? I didn't drop the link. He found it. Anyways, look at this shit, dude. Like, again, I talked about playing it last week, but even what I played feels very limited based on like what I can see in these trailers. There's a lot going on in this game. Like, and maybe this won't be the huge success that Shovel Knight was, but like, I could tell from watching these trailers that like this ain't no little side project for the Shovel Knight team. This was like,
oh no, not at all. Yeah,
this was like their big new thing, and like I don't think the world is ready for how sick this game is going to be. Because this mogs the shit out of Shovel Knight, and like
I have to pose this question.
Yeah,
I have to pose this question because my history with the studio that made Shovel Knight is that like I've tried Shovel Knight like several times and it never clicked with me, and that's primarily because I've never been a Mega Man guy, but I have been a Zelda guy. And I've played way more like classic Castlevania than I have played classic Mega Man. So I'm wondering,
that's funny.
I'm wondering if this might be the project from this team that like actually works for me.
Well, I mean, I think anybody who has this podcast would probably enjoy this. I mean, I think this game is going to be this game's going to be like sick as hell, right? I think it's going to be enjoyed by millions at the end of the day. I think.
Yeah.
Maybe it won't be like Shovel Knight success, sure, but like this thing rips. It rips, and I'm very excited, and I can't contain my excitement. I'm mad that I don't have it on my fantasy critic, but you know that's the nature of the draft. We can't just have everything we want.
Was that a crispy draft?
Carlos.
Damn.
Yeah, he's got a secret. He's like a sleeping giant this year. Don't underestimate.
Dude, I kept getting confused, and this is I keep forgetting that Carlos named his league Brad Simons. So like when I was waiting on bids to go through and I kept saying I got beat by Brad Simons, I was like, this motherfucker's list is full. How is he beating me at bids? And then I was like, oh wait. I'm being
clown
duped.
stuff, y'all. Clown stuff.
Clown shit.
It's so bad that like every time like his score goes down, I'm like, oh man, I'm cooked this year, whatever. And like people still are confused by that.
I mean, that's why he does it, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mina the Hollower looks fucking fantastic. Comes out October 31st. Sounds like Brad's staying in for Halloween.
Well, I'm not. Actually.
Brad loves Halloween, but will he venture outside the house on Halloween when Mina the Hollower is waiting?
Of course. I'll play this the next morning.
You have children. You kind of have to, don't you?
Yeah.
All right. So Chris Davis, what is your first pick for the night?
My first pick. Hang on.
I can't wait.
I gotta set up my footage.
No, I'm just kidding.
What now?
He says he can't wait.
I'm just ready for a Chris Davis surprise. I guess I
don't you know what his picks are? I thought you.
I don't know the back half. I don't know the back half.
We're not in the back half
with like a blue reflection 2 or something.
No. Is that a real thing?
My number 3, for I don't know why is this. Oh, this is a weird aspect ratio. That's it. Okay, whatever. My number 3 is Arc Raiders. This is a game I have been very vocal about and being very worried about. Mainly,
last time we talked about this, you were still worried about it, weren't you?
Yeah, but I've slowly started to come around on it based on for some of the things I've heard from playtests, from people leaking stuff about it, and honestly, like I rewatched the original trailer again, and I watched the newest trailer. I was like,
"Is this the newest trailer we're watching right now?"
This is the original trailer.
Okay, that was a bold move to pick the original trailer to show. Yeah, we all kind of vibed with the original trailer, but like it's changed. Yeah. It's changed since then.
Yeah, no, it is.
The thing you don't realize is that Chris Davis is over there daily posting on the fucking NeoGAF thread about how it's a downgrade.
NeoGAF, how fucking dare you? Shut your stupid mouth. No, my complaints have been that the marketing for this game was doing everything it could to not emphasize the gameplay they originally showed off, and they still haven't done that with the latest trailer. They've gotten a little bit better about like hinting at those gameplay possibilities, but not nearly as much as this original pitch trailer. And
Littlegate all over again.
But at the same time, I think about the fact that this is X-Dice royalty that made this. It's the people that made the finals. These are people that left DICE after Battlefield 1, which was essentially the last really good Battlefield game. So I'm more optimistic than I was a couple weeks ago.
It's got such a cool look to it. This is strictly a multiplayer shooter, or like a I don't even. This is like a Destiny like. I'm still not entirely clear as to like what genre.
This is going to turn you off, but they pivoted several years ago, and this is now a free-to-play PvPvE extraction shooter.
Yeah, that's going to turn me off. That's going to turn me off a little bit. But I do like free. So that's nice.
The whole gambit of this game is that it's the post-apocalyptic future. There's humanity's been driven underground, and robots literally rain from the sky and try to take over sections of the map. And you go up from underground as a raider and go destroy those robots to get their resources and extract back to your city. And that's it.
I mean, I don't hate the idea, and I mean, honestly, the fact that it's free to play means if this like reviews well and it's got kind of like that, like I love the look of this game. I love the vibe. It has this like kind of like Half-Life-esque. Maybe that's not the best descriptor. I don't know how. I don't know how to like it, but it's got like really really cool vibes. Like the universe looks really neat. The environments look really neat. The vibe of like walking around the world looks really neat. So like,
Nick, do you mind if I take this for you?
Yeah, sure.
When he said extraction shooter, that's when you were supposed to say, "I'm out."
I mean, I did.
Like, not only is that a multiplayer only thing, that is a multiplayer world that you want no part of.
All I'm saying is sometimes like the visual style of a world is so appealing to me that I'm willing to at least try it, and this seems like one of those things.
But he's also posting bullshots basically. Like Arc Raiders doesn't look like this shit anymore. This is like,
which is why I was like, you should have used the newer trailer. But the first trailer certainly did have some fucking pizzazz.
Yeah, everyone popped off on this first trailer. Like so
I would
so
kill, if this was like, I'm watching this trailer and I'm like, God, I would kill for this if it was a single player game. Like I'm like, what the fuck?
Yes.
Wow, yeah. This motherfucker's on Thor's side, y'all.
But like, just running around in groups and like just the momentum of everything you're doing feels
jetpacks.
It looks so fucking good with that fucking jetpack jumping over the mechs and throwing explosives at them, seeing the robot limbs like break apart in real time as you're doing it. Like, that's so fucking cool, man. I really want to play this.
Let's play some Binary Domain.
I tried playing Binary Domain. I tried.
Tried.
What do you mean you tried?
I played several hours. It was okay. I wasn't enthused to come back to it after several hours.
Oh, man.
He's going to give it another chance when Binary Domain 6 comes out.
Wait a second. When did you try
only
Binary
if Zero
Domain?
comes out first.
Because unless I'm mistaken, when you tried playing Binary Domain, that was like a you getting into Yakuza.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's a different world for you now that you've played like a bunch of Yakuza and you love it.
Oh no, I played Binary Domain for the first time like 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh. You're just crazy then. Which is what
loco. You're loco.
All right. Arc Raiders. Woo!
Yeah.
It does look cool. I hope it's good. All right, look, I didn't necessarily order. Like it. I didn't necessarily order mine. I just
order it now.
Games out there.
What's your number 3?
Right.
Order it.
My number 3. You know what? I'm gonna get the obvious one out of the way. This is the one I traded with Brad because I didn't realize blah blah blah. The obvious choice, Hollow Knight Silksong, right? It was my first draft pick for Fantasy League for a reason. It is the original Hollow Knight for me, and I'm sure for a lot of people, is kind of like that revelatory experience, kind of like maybe the first time someone played Symphony of the Night kind of thing, right? It did for me what I think Symphony of the Night did for a lot of people back in the day. Like, it's an incredible game, and we've obviously been waiting for years and years and years for this game. And the only reason I was maybe kind of hesitant to mention it tonight is because as the year goes on, I'm still not convinced it's coming out this year. Brad seems to be convinced
you're falling for the meme. That's all.
But like, you say that, but I've like had
any other game, even a game that's been gone for a long time, like if the developers of Limbo and Inside came out and they're like, oh yeah, our game's coming out this year, and it was in a Nintendo Direct, and then it was at the Xbox event saying, oh, it's coming out this holiday on our handheld, you wouldn't be like, no, it's not. I don't believe them. They're those stinkers. They're never going to release that game. Like I'm saying,
I'm not saying that.
Like,
I'm just saying
here.
This developer is clearly taking their time. Obviously,
yeah.
Team Cherry has been working this for a long time. I'm just saying we're now on like year 3, maybe 4 of me thinking it's coming out this year. And obviously, I gave them the benefit of the doubt, and I made it my first draft pick for a reason. Like, I have a certain amount of faith. But I'm also just preparing myself for disappointment, because
there's a serious possibility that this might be the highest scoring game of the year.
There's also a serious possibility that it's coming out in January. You know what I mean? Like you said,
I'm saying
they can do whatever they want.
That's possible in like a normal way, right? Because like like any game that's coming out in the back half of the year could end up getting delayed a little bit, right? That's very common. So like if this gets pushed back to January or like February, it could happen, but in like a normal way. Like
I'm
in
not
a game
saying
that,
it's an abnormal way.
no,
I'm
no,
just
but what I'm
saying
saying is like everybody, it's the biggest meme and joke in the industry is that no one believes it could ever come out, right? I'm
look,
saying
when
I'm saying there's
decided,
no reason we don't have we don't have there's no reason that we shouldn't be trusting the developers when they say it's coming out this year.
I mean, look. My only response to that is they have said it's coming out this year like 3 times before.
They have not. They said that one time, and it wasn't even from their mouths. It was from Xbox.
Okay, look, we don't need to keep
it's going to come out in the next 12 months.
All I'm saying is my first instinct when we decided we were going to do our top 3 most anticipated games for the back half of the year, my first instinct was to look specifically at games that have release dates. That was my first instinct. And that's when I said I was struggling a little bit because I was struggling to find games that have release dates already that I am like super hyped for. Most of the games that I'm like super hyped for, even the ones that are like strongly believed to be coming out this year, don't have dates yet and could very easily slip. But whatever. I don't want to talk about the release dates until the end of time.
I hate to say it, but like even games with dates can slip just as easily.
Yes, of course, Brad, of course. But at least they have a date. This doesn't have a date. This doesn't even have a month. It just has a year, and it could. And we are officially in the back half of the year. So look,
the reality is like we fell for the meme, right? Like we've talked about nothing except the meme.
Yeah, I'm trying to move on, and you won't let me move on.
No, but talk about the meme.
I am trying to, bro. I'm trying to. This game looks fucking amazing.
You brought it up the bit.
I was trying to explain to you why this was not like the immediate obvious choice for me.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
But like, look at this shit.
Was Henry born before or after Silksong started development?
You are literally dragging us back to the bit.
Yeah.
Homie, look. I have never played a game since Hollow Knight. Like in this
has lived up to
so like this is a side-scrolling like Souls-like Metroidvania, right? There's been many since, and none of them have.
There have been some good ones, but none of them are
I know you really like the Ori games, and I like the Ori games as well. But like
also Blasphemous, but like still not Hollow Knight.
Like they're not Hollow Knight. Like it's still the king. And few games can command that kind of like you know, you come at the king, but
we all know it's going to be amazing. We all know it's going to be amazing.
Like if I was just allowed to play like the stuff from the trailer, I'd already think it's like sick as hell. But there's obviously going to be way more than that. But just look at this shit. Like I've played Hollow Knight. This looks way better than Hollow Knight. Like just in like the combat and like the what you're fighting, like your movement, your abilities. This looks better than Hollow Knight, and it always has looked better than Hollow Knight. And that's sort of the thing, right? Like the reason everyone is so confident that this is going to be like, a GOAT is because Hollow Knight's a GOAT. It will be. And this looks better than Hollow Knight. And other games have come close, but like the only thing that looks like it's better than Hollow Knight is the follow-up to Hollow Knight. So
that is why
get fucked, Mael. Get fucked, Lune.
Okay, that's rude.
No,
that's
fuck
just
off.
Rude.
Fuck off, Brad.
Look, it's what else is there to say? Hollow Knight's fucking amazing. Yeah. Silksong looks fucking amazing. And yeah,
she's always in virtuous stance. Ho. Sorry.
All right, Brad. What's your next pick?
Another game without a date. But you know what? More people are giving this one the benefit of the doubt, I think. Although it is, it is a little strange that this one
you're
doesn't
dragging us back to the bit.
No, but this is a different game we're talking about. Metroid Prime 4 is
See, I don't have any doubt that's coming this year.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the bit. It doesn't have a date. We're still pretty confident though, right?
In certain parts of the world, it could have been available last week.
It could have been available? What do you mean?
No, there was a they put up that poster in the subway that said available now.
They did fuck
If they have posters out there that say available now that already exist, it's coming. It's fucking coming.
Metroid has been obviously it's one of my favorite franchises and it's been gone. If you It's funny. It's funny. I would say that Metroid's been gone for a very long time, but that's not true. If you're not counting Metroid made by Mercury Steam, it's been gone for decades, right?
I mean, 3D Metroid has been gone for a while.
3D Metroid, yeah, has been gone for decades, and the only Metroid that's existed
3D
really
first person Metroid. Let's be specific.
The only thing that's existed since those many, yeah, you're right. There's Team Ninja's Metroid game, which
other M.
Let's don't.
It is kind of funny, right? Like it's such a sad. Like the series has gone through its ups and downs, especially with me, right? When I found out Mercury Steam was taking the reins on 2D Metroid, I almost jumped out a window. Sure, but I think Metroid Samus Returns was fine. I think Metroid Dread was good, but honestly, I don't think either of those games live up to the kind of love and adoration, the expectations I had, the passion I have for like a Super Metroid or a Metroid Prime, or even like fucking Zero Mission and Prime 2. Like I love like Metroid what it was 20 years ago way more than I do any of like those Mercury Steam games, right? And we have not seen like I feel like we've seen very little of this game, right? And I feel like the next thing we get from Nintendo is maybe like a Nintendo Direct specifically for this game, like we just got for Donkey Kong, and with a release date, I imagine, because they say it's coming out this year, but we don't have a date, right? We're pretty confident it's coming out this year too, especially with the Subway.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out in August.
Yeah, it absolutely could come out in August.
October.
The only reason, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised at all if the only reason it's not coming out in July is because of Donkey Kong. They don't want to cannibalize their own shit.
I mean, they spread their shit out. They hold on the games. Yeah. This game's probably ready to go.
But it also needs to come out because the Switch 2 needs new games. Like they need to be like ramping up the Switch 2's library quickly. Otherwise, they could be holding on to this for a lot longer. But like,
I don't think so. I mean, they have big games, right? They have. Pokemon is also coming out this year, which is obviously going to be a huge deal, as Pokemon always is. And I think this is like another big fall game. But again, I feel like we've seen very little of it. But like at its base, at the lowest level, it just looks like Metroid Prime, which is good, right? I like Metroid Prime, obviously.
I'm still sad.
And like even if it's a very
Metroid
safe
Prime.
Even if it's a very safe Metroid Prime game, I think that's fine and that's good. That new suit. Sick though. That new suit's sick.
Yeah.
But I do think this game probably has some tricks up its sleeves, and I don't think it has to be a Breath of the Wild or a Donkey Kong Bonanza.
It just needs to be a good Metroid Prime game.
And I'm pretty confident that
that's fair.
That they can make one of those. They've made 3 of them. Even though it's been a long time, from what we've seen, I can tell that that they know how to still.
But like this is gonna be kind of a weird comparison, but think about the differences between like from Dark Souls 1 to 2 to 3 or whatever, and like a lot of people have very strong opinions about like which Dark Souls is the better game, but like at the end of the day, they're all Dark Souls games, and like they're great.
They're all the same.
Yeah, they're definitely not all the same.
They're not all the same.
Like that's what
you were saying clearly.
Like, if they make another Metroid Prime game and it's different. But like at the end of the day, it's still more Metroid Prime.
That's what we said about like Zelda games too, right? Like we might talk shit about like where one Zelda game is compared to another, but at the end of the day, like a mediocre Zelda game is still better than most games.
100%.
And I feel that way about Metroid Prime, just like I feel that way about the other example you just brought up,
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls, right? Like From Software at their worst is still better than most games. So,
dude, I'm talking. This is totally random. But I was a coworker who now realizes that I like play games a lot. Likes to come and talk to me periodically about them, and he was very skeptical about playing Souls games. He didn't get it, and I don't know what I said something, and he was like, tried Elden Ring over the weekend, and now he's like, dude, he's like frothing at the just. Frothing at the mouth, like this is amazing. I was like, yeah, you found the sauce.
Yeah.
You got it. Now run free. go play them all. It's amazing. It's amazing.
This is off topic. I finally watched Mickey 17, and now I feel differently about sauce. like using the word sauce because that one grossed me out a little bit.
Yeah,
the sauce, all the sauce.
That's
talk.
a good movie, though. Did you like that movie?
It was fun. It was fun. A lot. It went places I was not expecting. I didn't know much. I didn't know much about that movie. I will say, just to like end this, I am really glad. Like, so this is a cross-gen game, right? And we've had cross-gen games from Nintendo for a long time, right? Since the GameCube, I feel like they've been jumping to hardware that really ain't all that much more powerful than the last. I feel like, and because of that, but like here it is, right? Like a Switch a Switch was dusty like 5 years ago. You know what I mean? Like and now that we're getting a jump, even though it's still a handheld, like if you look at the comparison video of like how this game is on Metroid or how on Switch 1 versus Switch 2, like it looks so. This is one of the main reasons I wanted to get a Switch 2 at launch because I did not want to play this on Switch 1. And it's not because it runs bad on Switch 1, but because they had to optimize it for Switch 1, it means that the Switch 2 version is really tuned up and that it's running at 60 frames a second, upscaled to 4K. Like it's going to look
as opposed to doing it the other way around, like optimizing Switch 2 and then having people with the older hardware just shit out of luck.
Yeah. Like Microsoft or Sony would have done, but but like I'm just saying, it's gonna look good. And I've always said like I want to come back to the day where a Metroid game can maybe be the best thing I've ever seen. We're not there yet, but I'm gonna be pretty happy. I think this fall, hopefully. Hopefully September, please.
I don't know what it is, but August sounds right to me. I'm putting my money on August.
That's too soon though. August is literally like a month away almost.
Yeah, a little bit.
It could be November. When is Pokemon? Do we know? Do you say?
I think that's November. I could be wrong on that too, though.
Yeah, I could see October. October's getting crazy. He's muted. October is getting crazy.
I looked up the release schedule for the previous last 5 Metroid games, and they've tended to be either late August or mid-September. Anywhere between last week of August to mid-October.
That's so long, though.
It's so much has changed since the last Metroid Prime game came out. Or were you also looking at like Metroid Dread?
I was looking at like remastered as well.
Metroid Dread came out in the fall, right? But remaster came out in
February. Yeah, Dread came out October 8th, 2021.
Yeah,
Samus Return September 15th.
I will say this. I think the only thing that's like unusual about this launch in particular is that it's coinciding with the launch of a new piece of hardware. And that might have influence on it one way or the other. But anyways, this game looks sick. It's going to be out this year. I think we're all pretty confident about that, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Chris Davis, what's your second pick?
My second pick is once again wonky. Is the Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta Snake Eater remake thing?
Remake thing.
I mean,
a game you've played before.
That thing that I recently played too.
Hey, look, Silent Hill 2 remake was my favorite game of last year, and I've already played that. Although I don't know if this necessarily reaches.
You are just old men.
We are. That's true.
Just wait till we get to my number 1, though.
Yeah, I have been looking forward to this for a very long time. I know I am not the Metal Gear head of this website. I know that title goes to Nolan. He is infatuated with 3 to a level that I could never achieve, but I am very much looking forward to a newish Metal Gear experience in this decade that looks really fucking good.
There is something really magical about like a modernization of a classic game. Like that's one of the reasons why the Silent Hill 2 remake was so successful in my eyes, is that it like made that game feel better.
But this is not a remake on that level. This is more of like.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know what extent they're going to with this necessarily, but like
they didn't re-record audio and stuff.
That is true.
I mean, they re-recorded a little bit of audio, but that was mainly for very like small things.
Remake or whatever.
I mean, it's like it's the same level geometry,
the same bones,
and most of the same mechanics. Yeah. But yeah, same bones.
I call it a partial remake, but I don't see the tags.
But they've got to be making like modernizations to like
they are mechanically they have made modernizations for sure. Like it's had in the past. Even back on the PS2 there was a modernization, where they did Subsistence that had a completely new camera and other stuff like quality of life changes.
There's not nearly as much menuing in this.
Yeah, which is huge, right? Because like that's one of like the biggest things that, like my favorite Metal Gear game is still probably Metal Gear Solid 1, right? 3, yeah, I feel like gets really bogged down in a way that the others don't with a lot of that menuing. So if they kind of clean some of that stuff up, that'd be huge. I hate to say it, and look, obviously this is one of my favorite games of all time as well. I'm very excited, like I am probably about anything we're talking about tonight. We didn't talk about it when we were talking about Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I feel like the elephant in the room. There's an elephant in the room that is very related to Snake Eater, and that's that in the original incarnation of Donkey Kong, Pauline is the victim at the top. Donkey Kong is trying to kill Mario, who's trying to get to and rescue Pauline.
Yeah.
But Donkey Kong Bonanza, Pauline is a kid and they're homies. Donkey Kong Bonanza is the Snake Eater of the Donkey Kong universe. We're going to find the story of how Donkey Kong became the villain.
I hate you so much.
Going back to Metal Gear, because I don't even want to entertain this conversation. So there,
Venom Kong.
Whatever.
Exactly, that was Zero Skies.
God, that was the biggest reach I've ever seen in my life, Brad.
It's the same.
I don't want to entertain this.
I applaud you
for Big DK.
It's specifically about Delta Snake Eater. They had a recent production hotline direct, and Konami even did their own kind of press conference direct thing, which was actually well produced, like production wise, like on par with like a Nintendo Direct, which was surprising.
They probably outsourced that shit.
Oh, 100%.
Definitely. Like they do with game development now.
But they put money into it, and actually, you should go back and watch that. Honestly, it was a pretty decent presentation.
I'm not knocking it. Like if it gets Konami back in the video game business, like legitimately, and like their games start ruling again, then I don't care how they do it.
But they were talking about like everything but the actual single player experience. Like they were talking about the return of Snake versus Monkey. Snake vs. Monkey, or the Ape Escape mode, is exclusive to the PlayStation version. The Xbox version and PC version is Bomberman. So it's the same stuff, but you're doing Bomberman shit.
Wait. In this remake?
Are they just swapping out the apes
Have they
with
shown
Bomberman?
That? Have they shown that?
They have. It was in the production hotline, if y'all would go watch.
Whoa, I need to watch that. I mean, granted, nothing's going to beat the apes, but that's still pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
That just made my mind up, though. Like, I'm definitely going for the PlayStation version.
Even more of a crossover with Donkey Kong universe are the apes, right?
Yeah, of course. Everything ape related is connected. And then they've got they spoke about the multiplayer mode that they're developing. It's called Fox Hunt, and it looks to be, I think it's like a 1v8 experience where Snake is hunting down soldiers and soldiers are hunting down Snake on existing like campaign maps, which might be kind of cool.
That'd be cool if they brought back the Metal Gear Online maps.
Well, I mean, they do directly address like why this is not Metal Gear Online in any way, shape, or form. They basically come out saying they say that the gaming landscape has changed significantly since the last Metal Gear Online.
That's the marketing speak.
That's
the marketing speak.
It 100% is, but realistically, like for what they would have to do for a modern Metal Gear Online, like they're not going to fund it in a remake of Snake Eater. It would have to be a dedicated game. So I understand why they're doing this. That makes sense. But
hey, this looks hot.
They're also bringing back the Secret Theater, and they're adding new Secret Theater. That is so fucking great.
It's smart, man. It looks like a smart move. And honestly, this is one of those Metal Gear. I mean, like many of them, I feel like it's been ages since I've actually legitimately played a Metal Gear game, and this is one of my favorites. And I am looking forward to just kind of playing and revisiting this world. And this seems like a really cool way to do it. So, yeah,
it's so fucking cool.
It kind of makes me like, yearn for like the golden age of Metal Gear again, but hey, I'll take what I can get. This looks rad.
You should look up some of their previous production hotlines where they're actually showing like B-roll footage of like what happens when you're switching camo, like character movements, the active
this
camo
has a release
system
date, right?
Yeah, August 28th.
Holy shit, this is in August? I thought this was like November or something. Fuck.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah. So
damn.
Potentially my last purchase from GameStop ever.
Oh, damn.
Weird.
Damn, that is random.
Why is
that is
that?
random.
Why is that?
Yeah,
GameStop
because they were the exclusive place to get the Terrarium edition.
What?
So they got you with the bonus shit. So like, what makes you think they're not going to be able to pull that again with some other game?
Because I don't think GameStop is going to exist in 24 months. So
I mean, that's the primary reason I don't pre-order anything from GameStop anymore, is because like, guys, you can't guarantee you're even going to be here when this game comes out, unless it comes out like next week.
No.
All right. Anyways, all right. My second pick this week, we'll go with you know what? Let's do Death Stranding 2 on the beach. That comes out soon. In fact, that comes out in 2 days. There are reviews out for it. It's reviewing very, very, very well.
Wrong one. There we go.
And you know, this is another one of those games. Like, it's funny. Like, Crispy's been going really, really hard on Death Stranding this year, and he's super excited. And I think maybe some of his excitement kind of like leached into me a little bit and made me excited about it. I loved the original Death Stranding, as perplexing and weird and crazy. It's kind of connected to me saying like I really would love to revisit the golden age of Metal Gear. Obviously, that doesn't exist anymore because Kojima is now working on shit like this, and it shows. Like, you can feel his influence everywhere in these games. And that original game was just so fucking unique that I became completely obsessed with building infrastructure, and like the music and the vibes of the world is just kind of like unlike anything. And I've said this many times before, but I tend to feel like in the gaming industry specifically, like it's the first, at the very least, it's the first sequel to like in a series that kind of like really shows you what the potential in a franchise can be, because like it's benefiting from like the increased budget and having proven itself already. And that's why, like, you know, everyone, like, I always go back to like Assassin's Creed 2. Everyone was like, holy fuck, going from 1 to 2 was incredible. And I'm really, really, really hoping that it's kind of like that with Death Stranding. Like, they've improved upon just about every mechanic and like broadened it.
Well, but it can't be too good, Nick. Kojima doesn't want it to be too good.
Kojima has put his foot down and said we can't let it be too good. And that's a shame, because, you know, I really want it to be too good. But it's reviewing remarkably well.
I feel like people were kind of clowning on him for that comment.
Well, yeah, of course. It's ridiculous.
It's deservedly clowning.
No. I think what he's getting at is like, you know, if art, you know, it's like if art isn't challenging, then does it really have meaning or whatever? Like, obviously he thinks a lot about the, you know, he thinks very highly of the games he releases, right? You know, I'm most assuredly he sees his stuff as art, right? So like, if he thinks that it's just like some fun thing and not like some challenging thing for like a player, I don't mean challenging like Dark Souls challenging, like struggle to
challenges your like perception of what video games can be.
Yeah, stuff like that. Then I get it, right? Like you can't look at any of his sequels and go, oh, he just made the same game again.
Yeah.
And like,
for sure.
And like, I'm sure he doesn't want this to be just be Death Stranding, but a little more fun because it has more quality of life and stuff, which, you know, reviews are kind of saying that. But, you know, one thing I have heard across the board is like, it is a better, they have made like a better Death Stranding, but also like with the story, like the story is actually like better and more coherent and like lands better than it did in the first. And that's kind of exciting.
No, it is. And like, I'm just like, I look at this footage and stuff, and when I watch the trailer and everything, and like some of this shit is giving me like, having not put my hands on a controller to play it myself yet, a lot of this is giving me like Metal Gear Solid 5 in terms of like mobility and controls and stuff. And obviously I'm not entirely sure if that's accurate, but like it looks like he's taking some cues from stuff he's done in game. And everybody, no matter how you feel about Metal Gear Solid 5, like everybody raves about like how that game felt to play. And I thought the last Death Stranding game felt really good to play, but
It
like
didn't feel like
this
Metal Gear
does.
Solid 5 though.
It
Was
didn't
like
feel like Metal Gear
it
Solid
was way
5. But like,
muddier than, you know.
yeah, and like, but this would be the one, right? This would be the one where you've kind of he had the opportunity to like hone it into something truly like crafted and just like feels good to play. And I said it before, I'll say it again. Like, just Death Stranding is one of those games where the vibes are kind of unlike anything I've ever played or experienced, and I'm looking forward to just kind of getting lost in that again. So yeah, and I'm not gonna have to wait very long for this. I'm gonna be playing it by the weekend. So, yeah, color me excited.
It's on its way from GameFly for me. So
Yep.
I'm currently in the process of trying to find out what the best
YouTube videos,
Death Stranding 2 or Death Stranding 1 video is to watch. And I feel like I don't want a overly long explainer for the story. I kind of just want the vibes, maybe. You know what I mean?
You want Death Stranding 1 for dummies.
No, you're not understanding. I don't even want the story explained to me. I kind of don't want to care about I want like a Jacob Geller video about Death Stranding.
But
you know,
he would go into detail about the story.
No, you're thinking of Noah Caldwell Gervais. He would go
you're right.
detail.
I am.
No. Jacob Geller would just communicate the vibes, and then talk about a dude who died in a cave slowly for dozens of hours or whatever. But I don't know. I'm excited. Even though I didn't finish that first game or barely even started that first game because I always wanted to get into it, and this just seems like a better version of Death Stranding 1 in terms of the gameplay. And it is redoing like some of those concepts again. So, I'm excited.
Yep.
Agreed.
Can't wait to make some zip lines, baby.
I may find some time later this year. I don't know.
Yeah, Chris Davis is infamously not impressed by Death Stranding.
Yeah, famously unimpressed. We get it.
It's not everybody impressed. I just was disappointed.
There was a lot of people with you at launch, but then over the years they're like, thinking back, I kind of like that game. Or they played like the director's cut and they're like, you know what, we got it wrong. This shit is actually goated.
Maybe that was the problem. I didn't play director's
everyone
cut.
grew up a little bit, but you, I think.
Also, Brett, don't forget. Like, I'm full of shit because this was my number 10 that year.
Oh my god!
So like,
you hate it. You fucking.
I really hated it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What was your number 9?
I don't know. I have to go back and look. I'll
Don't
get an answer for
Death's Door or some shit like that.
I don't. Oh, it was. No, wait, no. Even better, Brad. Oh my god, even better.
Was it the David Cage game?
If that's the same year, then Death's Door was my number 10, and this was my number 9, which is even better because you always.
I don't think it was the same year. I don't think it was the same year.
Okay. All right.
But
I'll
if you
find
did
out
put Detroit Become Human in front of it, it'd be funny.
What year? This is 2019.
So we're on our number 1 now, right? No, 2019.
2020?
2019. Pretty sure.
No, it was not 2019. It must have been.
You sure? It didn't.
Holy
make your
shit!
top 10?
It was 20. Oh my god! What year did this game come out?
It was pre-pandemic.
Yeah, pre-pandemic.
Guys, what fucking year? I'm looking at
he
all
didn't
my
put it on
lists.
his top 10.
Oh no! Oh fuck! I lied. It wasn't my number 10. It was my number 4.
Oh, okay. Well, so
I was gonna say
it was 2019.
You just lying to me.
It's number 19, and it was my number 4. I totally lied.
Number 4 is the number 10 of a top 5.
Way more.
Yeah, exactly.
That's absurd. All right,
for everybody else. I mean,
what's your next pick?
See, do you see though? Like that was a little bit of a Freudian or like a he was speaking from his heart to him.
No, I was
trying. Really did feel like a number 10 to him.
I was trying to lean into the bit. God damn it! I genuinely thought that's where I put it, but I guess not.
And through bits we find the truth. Anyways, my number 1, because I play original games, not remakes of shit I've already played or sequels that are the same shit. My number 1 is Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles.
A remake, you
dumb
say?
bitch.
I'm being true to myself, right? Final Fantasy Tactics is my favorite game of all time. There's been a drip
God,
feed.
this cutscene's amazing.
The Japanese Twitter account for Final Fantasy Tactics, the remaster, partial remake, whatever the fuck it is, has been like steadily like releasing clips and talking a little bit about the systems and the new stuff, and I've been getting more and more and more excited. So much so that all I've been playing for the past week is Tactics Ogre Reborn, because I'm so excited for Final Fantasy Tactics. I'm just back on my bullshit.
Aren't you worried you're going to burn yourself? Oh, no, that's a dumb
Brad
question.
Slop, I cannot burn myself out on this. I cannot burn myself out. So I'm getting very excited. They released a clip of it was a roller coaster of emotions. Ramza murdered a chocobo, and we learned the new death cry, because everything has new death cries of a chocobo, and let me tell you, it does not sound like the chocobo dying before. It's some new
it's sad,
horrific shriek that I've never heard before. But the sick part of the video is, like, and I've talked a little bit about this, but it's fully voiced now, and even the skill call outs for like when you do like a spell or a special ability, not every time, but occasionally,
like a random chance,
there will be a random chance that there will be a quote of like, and like the quotes are so sick. There's like they're metal. They're like, it's like God, I screen capped a couple of them. Let me pull it up real quick, because this shit was so
just describe
good.
something as metal, and now I'm intrigued.
Well, metal, like, what's like the fantasy version of metal? It's like a subgenre, right?
I mean,
like there's like a subgenre
metal?
of metal.
I don't know.
Dungeon.
There's
metal?
like a subgenre of metal that's talking
like
about
Viking
like
metal. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, Viking. I don't know. You're the metal guy. You tell me. They talk about swords. It's all like Arthurian and shit. Anyways, how about
power metal?
For hallowed bolts, I call out to the skies and tremble as the brilliance of 1,000 bolts blinds mine enemies and tears their flesh asunder. Like
that's pretty metal, actually. Yeah,
hearing that shit, like, and like they recorded these lines for like the different characters, because not only some characters say these lines, it could be any of these lines. Power metal. That's right. Thanks, Flag. Or like, open your eyes to the darkness and drown in its loveless embrace. The gods will not be watching. Dude.
Okay, that on the surface level,
sounds specifically black metal.
On the surface level, that sounds awesome. But then I think about how many times you're going to use these attacks throughout the game.
Dude, but it's not every time. It's not random. Every time. It's not every time. So when it does, it's like so fucking epic. Like, I don't know if it's like more common on a death blow or whatever, but like the thing is, like, all of like Agrius is like, one of my favorite characters. Like, all of her abilities or like special abilities have like these quotes. It's so sick. I read a couple more, but y'all can't handle it.
I can't. But this is worth noting. I intend to play this. This will be my first time ever playing Final Fantasy Tactics. I'm still trying to decide what platform I want to play it on. Probably Switch 2, I guess. I don't know.
I think I ordered.
I don't know.
PS5.
Or I have a Steam Deck too, which kind of like trumps having. It's weird because like, yeah, I feel like my Switch 2 is just gonna end up just becoming like the system that I just play Nintendo specific games on, right? It makes it
one more.
It seems silly. Okay.
7 shadows cast, 7 fates foretold. Yet at the end of the broken path lies death, and death alone. This is like literally the shit they say before they do an ability in this old ass PlayStation 1 game. I don't know. It's so sick. So sick.
Pretty sick. Pretty sick.
New script though, so we'll see.
We shall see. All right, Chris Davis, what is your number one?
My number one.
Your most anticipated
game of the remainder of 2025.
Yes.
Is Ghost of Yotei. I was in love with
I didn't
Ghost
know
of
you
Tsushima.
were this in love with it.
Dude, Chris Davis studies the blade in his free time.
Oh, I did. Yes, I did. Totally.
I didn't blame you. I loved it too.
He's in his backyard slicing up plastic bottles of water.
I 100%ed Ghost of Yotei and its expansion, Iki Island.
Nice.
Iki Island? Was that really the name of the...
Yeah, I think it was like IK.
Is that how it's pronounced? It just sounds kind of lame.
I think it was Iki. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Iki. I think it's Iki. I think is the way it's
probably Iki or Ike.
Ichi, maybe.
We're so white. We got to stop this. We are.
Iki Island. Oh.
This is when people like jokingly call it, like, say, like, white guys with a podcast. This is what they're talking about. We got to stop.
Yeah, it is 100%. But I don't 100%
these days.
That's true.
I don't 100% games I don't like, obviously. And This was, I think, my first like PlayStation full platinum that I ever did. I love everything about Tsushima, and you've got this pseudo direct sequel that may have like a little bit of like memory time travel implications, a little bit. Well, not really actual like time travel, but like flashbacks that may be relevant within the environment.
I thought this shit was going Assassin's Creed or something.
No. And it's a revenge story in which you're hunting down these other Ronin, but you're also hunted throughout this world. I fucking need it, man.
Look, I think everything I said about Death Stranding 2, I think also applies here, just in terms of like, again, like direct, like immediate direct sequels to new IPs. They pop off. They pop off. I have a feeling this is going to be like Ghost of Tsushima, but with like all of the rough edges that it had kind of like smoothed out, more variety to the gameplay, more interesting things to find and do in the open world. Look, I've been playing, the only game I've played for the past 2 weeks pretty much has been Assassin's Creed Shadows. And even though I am enjoying that game, I have reached a point in that game. I'm going to finish it. But like I've reached a point in that game that I'm constantly thinking to myself, there is zero chance that this is not going to be completely outclassed by Ghost of Yotai.
100%.
Like 0% chance it's not going to be outclassed.
Ubisoft.
But like it honestly, like the story in Assassin's Creed Shadows is pretty good, and like the characters pretty damn good. But like all of like the things that Ghost of Tsushima excelled at, it just doesn't. And I've played a lot of Ubisoft open world games, but like it's struggling to like keep my interest in terms of like exploring the world, which is a shame. I don't think that's going to be a problem with this game. And yeah, also, I'm trying to finish it as soon as possible so that I don't burn myself out on, because it's going to be very similar. It's just in terms of like the vibes, but like it's still going to be like way outclassed.
Also, Yotai stars Erika Ishii as the protagonist, and I really like her. There's supposed to be like a PlayStation Direct specifically about Yotai, I think next month.
Yeah.
Which I really hope they talk about whether they'll bring back Legends mode, because Legends was awesome. I don't have a PlayStation Network subscription right now. I let it lapse. I will re-up it just for Yotai. I
don't know if that was like
Sony has a really bad history of bringing back multiplayer modes that were in previous games.
I mean, I understand that, but they did a really good job with Legends.
Fucking The Last of Us says hi.
Fucking Ratchet and Clank says hi. I mean, like there's so many that died and
yeah, I know, because Sony is going to Sony, and they're just they don't understand how to
Xbox. It's not a good week for you.
I'm just saying.
Fuck off Xbox too. Yeah.
I'm just saying, maybe don't put too many of your eggs in that basket, because that's where it could end up disappointing you. But
I know.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I will still end up being infatuated with the campaign. I am certain. So
yeah, no, it's gonna be great.
And also, this launches the day after my birthday, so that's a perfect birthday present.
Bam, beautiful, cool.
That's it.
Good choice. And my number one pick tonight, and this is, I say this fully knowing that this could all go horribly wrong, and I'm still very worried about this, but I am maybe the most excited to get my hands on Silent Hill F. After seeing what they did last year with Silent Hill 2, obviously different team, very different team, being developed. There's a lot of overlap in the development time, right? So it's not like they're taking direct cues from what they did right with Silent Hill 2. So this is a very different animal. But it is also maybe the most ambitious concept, like conceptually, that it's the most experiment. And if anybody says Book of Memories, I'll choke you to death. I'm just saying.
You're the one who brought up.
But I know one of you is gonna fucking say it when I get this sentence out. Probably, but like, you want to talk conceptually and experimentally, this is the most ambitious project they've done as part of Silent Hill as a franchise, maybe ever. It takes place in Japan. It's a period piece,
and yet you're excited for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Silent Hill. I mean, the meme goes.
They're making Silent Hill like Fatal Frame a good horror franchise. I'm excited too.
The meme is funny, but Silent Hill has long since been one of my favorite franchises, even though it has a rocky history. It's one of my favorite franchises out there, and it was born and developed completely in Japan. So like, go fuck yourself. But yeah, like this, it's such a weird thing. I'm so fascinated to like, I want to know how the fuck this actually connects to Silent Hill, like the actual town of Silent Hill in any significant way, because that's got to be in there somewhere. Like they couldn't just call this Silent Hill and not have it somehow.
I mean, that's my biggest question.
Relate.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the biggest question on everybody's mind. Like it's it's going to be in there, and I'm genuinely curious. But it also it's got some Fatal Frame in there, not like mechanically speaking. You're not taking pictures of ghosts, but like vibey. You're running around this like creepy town as this like young schoolgirl. Like it's giving.
It might be the first actually scary Silent Hill game.
I mean, I think the Silent Hill 2 remake
was pretty scary. 4
was also pretty scary. Yeah. There is video evidence of you being terrified by Silent Hill 4.
Way more video evidence of me being terrified by Fatal Frame.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. So like it's so refreshing to see them like blending Silent Hill with like Japanese horror, which despite the fact that it comes from Japan, they have long since felt like two completely different kinds of horror.
But that could hold it back, because I feel like one of the reasons Silent Hill is admired as a series are like pretty unique, like monster designs and stuff. And if this is going to be like more traditional, Japanese horror that you've seen like a million times before, maybe it won't be as like, maybe it won't pop as hard. Although
you're absolutely right.
They got some weird stuff in there.
Yeah. And I could be wrong, but like everything they've shown so far is
fucked up stuff.
I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe somebody out there can correct me if I'm wrong. But everything they've shown out there, I think, has been dubbed in Japanese, and I think that's the only way. I mean, you can probably play it with English. I mean, you're going to be able to play it with English subtitles, obviously. But like, I want to say
English VO.
I haven't seen any English VO, and I wouldn't be surprised if like they kept it that way to make it feel authentically Japanese, because it would be weird. Right? If they had this, like, I mean, I don't know. It's a period piece, takes place in Japan, and suddenly everyone speaks English. I don't know. I don't know. If that's the case, I mean, I think one way or the other, I'm probably going to play it in Japanese. It's just, I don't know. This looks really, really cool. I hope it delivers. It could fall on its face. It's not we've talked about it before. The team making this does not instill a lot of confidence. They're the team responsible for all those like kind of like failed Resident Evil multiplayer projects.
Neobards.
This is definitely their most high profile project, and this is going to be their moment to make or break. I don't want to say make or break them as a team, but like if they were going to prove themselves as a highly respected like team capable of doing like AAA projects, this would be the one.
At some point, you got to give them a try at something. Otherwise, you're just going to get stuck making more multiplayer games.
This is them getting a shot. And
Silent Hill saved Bloober Team in people's eyes, so maybe
you're absolutely fucking right.
Yeah,
Silent Hill did save Bloober Team in a lot of ways. And I say that as someone who has enjoyed Bloober Team projects in the past, but Silent Hill 2 is their best project without a doubt. So like, I hope the trend of like Silent Hill's revival kind of continues and holds true. I don't know if this is going to be as good or better than Silent Hill 2 remake, but like I can hope, I can dream. And it's coming out, I think, in September or maybe October. I don't remember when the date is. But it's coming out this year, and that's exciting.
September 25th.
I never knew that.
September 25th, yeah. So I'm pretty excited. Pretty fucking excited. All right. So that concludes the first half, right? We're going to do the second half. We're just gonna go through some maybe some lesser known some jimmies, some maybe personal jimmies.
No. The pitch. That wasn't the pitch. The pitch was, at least my list is. It's gonna be weird if we get into y'all's
unique choices.
Well, for me, they're unexpected choices. Games I'm very excited about for in the second half of the year that maybe you'd be surprised that is on my list.
Yeah. So when we come back from the break, we'll do that. So if you're watching us live or listening at home, don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
What podcast number are we?
$839.
You know, I since I have a Switch 2 and Mario Kart, and I'm not paying $95 for a Pro controller or whatever the fuck insane price it is.
Yeah.
I bought one of these $30 8-bit dough controllers.
They're supposed to be really good.
Yeah, dude. It works on the Switch too, and it's like build, like it feels just the same as like a Switch 1 Pro controller. Like build quality and stuff. Like, in fact, I think the D-pad I like more than that shitty Nintendo Pro controller D-pad. It's like people are actually paying $95 for that fucking Pro controller.
Yep.
When you can get, they made this shit cheap. I didn't even think I'd still be able to get this cheap because of these fucking tariffs. They're probably
or you could do like I'm doing,
already
just
over
use
here
the,
sitting in a warehouse.
You could also just use the Switch 1 Pro controller on the Switch 2.
No, I am. That is what I'm using. But I need stuff for the rest of my family members.
Oh, you need the Player 2 controllers. Got it. Gotcha.
Yeah, the Player 2 controllers.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, the Player 2 controller might become the Player 1 controller because it's pretty damn good.
I'll be right back.
Saying?
Yeah, I get you. As soon as Nick's back, I'm gonna get some tea.
It does have weird look at this third shoulder button up there. What the hell am I supposed to use that for?
Maybe it's like a hotkey?
Well, it's literally an R1, R2, it's a R4. Or no, L1 and no, it's L4 and R4. Oh.
I can only think it
actually feels like better than a Pro controller. Well, I'm saying like the build quality like feels very good. I mean, it's a $30 wireless controller. I'm surprised by the quality.
Yeah.
And I think they might even be Hall effect joysticks.
I
feel like.
I think it actually is. 8-bit Do does a lot of that.
I mean, it is like the low. 8-bit Do makes like more expensive versions of this, but I'm just surprised by the. Like I said, like it feels like a very decent controller, given that I spent $30 on it.
Is it the Ultimate 2 Bluetooth?
No, I mean I don't know. I don't think it has. Hold on.
I mean, I'm just on their website.
Let me look at the Amazon list because I just bought it. It's the Ultimate 2C Bluetooth. Ultimate 2C Bluetooth controller. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Hall effect joysticks. Wild. $30.
Yeah.
Wild.
Oh, and Hall effect triggers. Okay.
It feels good. I did have to do a firmware update on my. I mean, like, there's like you just download the app on your computer and it updates the controller so it works with the Switch too, but it's been working good. 8-bit Do's naming scheme is a hot mess. That I agree with.
Yeah.
They need to figure that shit out.
Yeah. All right, let me grab some tea real quick. Be right back.
The other thing is, I usually just use a wireless 360 controller for my PC games, but the D-pad on that sucks. Ass. So now I use this one, and it's a lot better.
Ass.
I was playing Ninja Gaiden, Ragebound, and whatnot with this. Felt good. No, I mean, I haven't had it for that long. You know, I don't know what like the battery life is and all that jazz, but so far, pretty good. Like I said, the most appealing part is that it's not $95. I've been playing some Switch One games. Yeah, a sheaf. I've been playing Tactics Ogre nonstop, which is a Switch One game. But that really isn't like a powerhouse. Still frustrated by the battery life, even because I got so, and I don't know how much y'all do that with y'all Steam Decks, but I love turning down I forget what the setting is, but you can turn how much down, like how much like power output you need for certain games. So like when you're playing like a weaker indie game or whatever, you can crank it down and you get way better battery life out of your Steam Deck. Switch One so desperately needs something like that. I mean, the Switch 2 so desperately needs something like that. But whatever.
Yeah.
And I did the battery reset thing. People were like, "Oh, the indicator or whatever," but like that wasn't the issue. It just doesn't have a great battery life, which is frustrating, but whatever. Fucking Game Gear days now. Playing that shit plugged in half the time.
All right. So for the second segment, we don't have trailers for these, so
no. And this won't go as long.
We'll make this a little bit shorter than the first segment. But are y'all ready?
I am recording.
I too am recording.
Restart Audacity. Okay, I am recording.
All right. Roll call for the second segment starts right now. Brad.
Hello.
Chris Davis.
Hello, I am also here.
Wonderful. Welcome back to the show. Guys, as we mentioned at the end of the last segment, this second half is going to be just a little bit different than the first half. We're going to be now talking about our most anticipated games that you might be surprised to find on our list. Maybe some more unexpected choices. A lot of the stuff we talked about in that first segment, a lot of the heavy hitters, right? The big stuff that a lot of people are excited for. So these might be a little bit more under the radar picks, if you will. And we don't have trailers for these. These are just we're just gonna roll through these maybe a little bit faster than the last segment. But I'm gonna let Brad kick us off just like he did last segment. Yes. Same format. Brad, take it away. What's your first pick?
My
for this
third pick. My number 3 for most games that, in my opinion, this topic is games that you'd be most maybe unexpected picks for the second half of 2025 for me.
But
my number 3. What?
I feel like Nick? Mine are a lot of Nick's. Mine has a lot of Nick slop on it, but it's like stuff that
I know because
you're entitled to your Nick slop. It's okay.
You misread the prompt. But like I say that because my number 3 is Pokemon Legends Z-A. Za? What are we calling that? Pokemon Legends Za?
The follow-up to have to be the one to answer that question.
The follow-up to Pokemon Legends Arceus. And the reason it's on my list at number 3 is because first of all, I don't give a shit about Pokemon at all. I've never finished a Pokemon game. I've barely started.
Ever?
I've only started like a few of them. I've never even got close to finishing a Pokemon game. I don't care about Pokemon because it's a baby game. But
once you played one, you played them all.
I've made a couple of them babies, and now finally Nintendo, who refuses to hire like voice actors, or the Pokemon company refuses to hire voice actors, but now my older son can read, and Henry is super excited to finally play a Pokemon game without having to me sit there and read every single fucking word to him. Now we can I can just chill on the couch and watch my son play Pokemon. And now I'm gonna become like a Pokemon. I'm gonna know about all these Pokemons or Digimons.
So you're excited to watch your son play Pokemon.
Well,
not play it yourself.
And take the controller when he can't handle the heat of the Charmander or whatever the fuck. I mean, he's not. Yeah. No, I'm legitimately excited. I'm excited because it's fine. Because my son's always loved Pokemon, but mostly just like watching the shows and the characters, but he's never really been able to play them because he didn't know how to fucking read, and Nintendo doesn't voice act their games. And now He does, and since then he's got really into Monster Hunter stories, which the Pokemon spinoff of Monster Hunter, and now there's like a real ass Pokemon game coming out. It doesn't run like shit because we got new hardware finally. So I'm kind of stoked to try it out. Me and Henry and Griffin, because he's on that same couch getting hyped about Pokemon. So we're gonna become a Pokemon family now. I don't know anything about this though. It's like in a city or something. What's that about?
Bro, you are asking the wrong person.
I did play a little bit of Arceus because I was like, oh, they're finally doing something new after decades. Let me try this one out. And it was fine, but it kind of lost me, low production values.
I feel that. Yeah.
Get your shit together, Pokemon Company. You're only the biggest media property in the fucking world.
You heard it here first. By the end of 2025, Nolan and Brad will be holding his own in a conversation about Pokemon with Nolan.
Maybe. I'm excited.
It'll be interesting. All right, Chris Davis, what did y'all first pick?
My number 3 pick for unexpected 2025 games for me, it's going to be a game that's coming out pretty soon. The remake of Tony Hawk 3 and 4. I love Tony Hawk 3. That was my first Tony Hawk.
I considered it for this list, but I guess people knew I liked that last one they made. I played a lot of that, so
yeah. I picked that up a few weeks ago. I haven't gotten a chance to play
it's
one or two
good,
yet.
but 3 is my favorite Tony Hawk game, so I'm excited.
3, in my opinion, it was not only my first Tony Hawk. I think it's the best Tony Hawk. The level design, the airport is still like a top tenner when it comes to like any kind of sports game level.
I call it a platforming level because Tony Hawk's a secret platformer.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I never got around to playing 4. I went straight from 3 to Thug.
Is 4 as well respected as 3?
People like 4. 4 is good.
4 is very different in a lot of ways, but
it's similar enough to be packaged with 3.
This time around,
it makes sense.
This time around, it's not that different from 3 because they've kind of like made it less.
The whole gimmick was 4 was like giant levels and no timer. So you kind of just went into a level, found people to talk to get quest objectives, did the objective, and then once you've done everything, you move on to the next level.
It was the seed that led to Thug, actually.
Yes, 100%. But for the remake, what they've done is make it run based. So you get it's a timer, but they have made adjustments based on probably player feedback that you can extend the timer from like 3 minutes to up to an hour. So essentially, you get that same level of freedom. Yeah.
Oh. But doesn't that take away the challenge of like hitting those score bonus, those score goals and stuff?
I mean, yeah, I agree with you there. But also, I understand why people would be upset that they have to do all these quests or these objectives again in less than 3 minutes when these are huge levels. So
yeah, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Weird. It's kind of a sloppy way to fix that problem, but whatever. I mean, it's cool. I'm excited. I think it'll be interesting because I played a fuck ton of 3, but I feel like I only dabbled in 4 back in the day.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to kind of see those levels with a new eyes. I don't know. Yeah, good pick.
Yeah, same here. Cool. And if anything, hopefully this means that number 1, Iron Galaxy, who is the developer, continues to exist because they deserve to continue to exist. But also number 2, if this sells well, maybe we'll actually get that Thug remake, which we all know we deserve. So
maybe Thug 2 got pretty.
Do we deserve it though? Do we?
Yes, we do because Eric Sparrow needs to eat shit in HD. Okay.
All right. All right. So my first pick for the night.
Unexpected, because I didn't want this just to feel like 4, 5, and 6.
But like here, see, now you make me feel like I did this wrong.
Let's hear the next slide.
Because this pick is like it's true to me, but I don't think you're gonna see it on many lists. Like if you talk to people about their most anticipated games of the year, I don't think there's gonna be many people talking about this at all. But I'm going.
Do the other one. Do the other one.
Do the other one?
Yeah.
What other one?
The Beast.
You're saying don't do this one at all?
The Beast. I feel like that pick fits the prompt better.
I mean, okay.
You do you, Nick. You do you.
I mean, that is...
It's unexpected because of the way you felt about the last
who's
game,
to
right?
say that's not already on my list?
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Damn it. Go for it.
All right. Sorry. Okay. I just wanted to call some attention because I've been waiting for this game for a long time, and it's finally coming out, and that is Luto.
Oh,
indie horror game. It's very much Nick coded. If you remember, they released a demo for this a couple of years ago. You probably remember it as that really creepy, hyper realistic game where you're walking around this like weird house and there's people walking around with like sheets over their head, like ghosts. Yeah.
This thing. Yeah.
Which is it was also kind of like very Silent Hill coded because like the farther you go into the game, like the more fucked up things become. Suddenly, like the rooms don't have ceilings and there's chains hanging from the ceiling, and it's just kind of like this like slow descent into hell as you like solve these weird puzzles and like avoid these like really creepy.
Was the demo good?
Ghosts.
The demo was good.
I liked the demo a lot, but it is admittedly very much. It's very much like other games of that genre that really appeal to me that maybe don't appeal to other people. Like to me, it seems like it's kind of destined to maybe be the next like Visage for me, which is
I was gonna
like,
say Visage, yeah.
Or it's very much like PT. It's one of those PT coded experiences. It's like super hyper realistic.
Markiplier slop.
Yeah, it's Markiplier slop, but that's also Nick coded slop. But like it's got the vibes, it's got the atmosphere, it's got the like really impressive visual style to it. And it's just one of those games that I tend to like sit down and get lost in and just like really enjoy as like a horror experience, and that usually resonates really, really well with me. A lot of times it ends up on my top 10 at the end of the year. I don't know. The interesting thing is the demo they released a few months ago, or maybe at this point like last year or so. It was the one that we all played that had the sheet ghost or whatever. But that apparently is not part of the actual game. It was just kind of like it was like a vertical slice of that's not necessarily part of the final product. I think they did that. I don't know, but it's coming out. It's one of those games that I've been kind of like eyeing for a long time, and the longer it goes, the more I'm like, are they really going to finish this game? Is it actually coming? And it's coming next month. I think it's in July.
July 21st.
It is.
Yeah, July 21st. So I'm super excited.
I passed over it when I was doing my Critics Royale.
The demo is still available to download on Steam.
Yeah, demo's still out there. I just thought it was an interesting approach to take. They built this like vertical slice demo that is not necessary. Like it has, I'm sure it has like geometry and like like the ghost things are probably still in the game, but like it's just a slice that's specifically developed as a demo that's separate from the experience. So I don't know what to expect, but I'm super excited for it, and I wanted to make sure it got some love. So that is my first pick for this list.
Oh, number.
Number two.
Brad.
Let me pull this up. Number 2, a game that I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I feel like people don't. I've talked about it, but maybe people don't know how that I'm more excited than you would think. Especially because I didn't really like Shredder's Revenge all that much. But I'm very excited for Marvel Cosmic Invasion, which is the beat 'em up game made by those people, but you get to play as like Storm and Wolverine. I have a weird amount of nostalgia for like X-Men games back in the 90s, right? Like I feel like if you grew up when I did and you had like a Super Nintendo or a Genesis or a Game Gear game, you consumed a lot, or the arcades, right? You played a lot of, I mean, man, X-Men was the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Like I was playing that, 6-player X-Men beat 'em up in the arcade, or was it 5 players? I love that fucking game. The fucking Nightcrawler and Colossus, man. That shit was so good. But like, and I played so many bad X-Men games. At least I thought they were kind of bad. Like I had the shitty one on Game Gear where like Wolverine didn't even always have his claws out, and I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? But like it's a very nostalgic part of like, the kinds of games I played before I started taking like my gaming hobby a little more seriously, right? You bought the X-Men game because you're like, I don't know what this shit is, but I like the X-Men, so I guess I'm renting this game, right? From
X-Men
the
are cool.
Blockbuster,
Yeah.
right? And you know, the games are always like weirdly difficult or whatever, but like just beat 'em ups in general, and like specifically the X-Men arcade and all those X-Men like side scrollers from back in the day, weird amount of nostalgia for them. So like, you know, maybe I don't care about playing as Star-Lord or whatever, but like Star-Lord, is he in that one? Or I'm thinking of Tokon Fighters.
Yeah, you
maybe
are.
I don't care as much, but I don't care as much about Rocket Raccoon or whatever. I know he's in Marvel Cosmic Invasion, but like I don't know, just seeing like some of the I'm getting those games confused, but like that's not on the list because that game's not coming out this year. But like I'm as like excited about the Arxis Marvel fighting game for some of the same reasons, dude. I collected all of the X-Men cards back in the day, damn it. I don't know. I'm just getting kind of hyped about Marvel. Like, and I think it's surprising for me because if you've ever heard me talk about these Marvel movies, I'm usually just like trolling these assholes because I've been way off the Marvel train forever. I really don't care about superhero movies or Marvel movies, but I'll play a fucking Marvel beat 'em up. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Storm's in there, right? Storm?
Yeah. 15 different characters, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm stoked.
It would be crazy if Storm wasn't one of them.
And
Yeah,
and Shredder's Revenge, like that was a pretty good beat 'em up.
But see, I have a lot of nostalgia for Ninja Turtles, but like they all felt kind of samey. Here, even from watching the trailer, I can tell that there's like more like differences in the way these characters control and feel that I'm getting kind of excited.
Definitely.
But like especially because I can play through this shit with Henry. And we played through a little bit of Shredder's Revenge, but he wasn't like quite old enough. But now, like, we're gonna fuck the shit up out of Magneto or whoever the fuck is the bad.
It's always Magneto. It's always
yeah.
Magneto.
Yeah, it'd be sad if it wasn't Magneto. But yeah, I'm excited. Yeah.
Sweet.
Number 2, unexpected hype pick for me because I followed the prompt. Sorry.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by my last 2 picks.
Okay. I hope so.
Chris Davis.
You're not going to be pleasantly surprised by my last 2 picks because they are pretty much Chris Slop.
Emails.
I understand what you're saying but they're also kind of unexpected, I think, for y'all because I really haven't talked about them that much. Number 2 for me is, I know it's going into early access, but I'm really excited for Kingmakers.
What? And this is meme shit. Yeah, of course this is Chris Davis slop.
Oh, whatever. What they're trying to do with this game, on the surface level, this is the game where you're the time traveler and you can go back to like medieval. Yeah, it's basically Army of Darkness 2, but with a pickup truck. But what they're trying to do, and what I've seen in some like previews, like with Digital Foundry and other places, like they're doing some pretty cool shit. Like, you're not just traveling between the present and the medieval times. You actually go into the future too. And the whole loop is that you're trying to win medieval battles to prevent the future scenarios from happening. So you'll win battles and then you go back into the future beyond the present to see how the corporate dystopia of that time has changed. But everything, the cool thing to me is that everything that's happening in a level is real time. So the game just doesn't like pause when you time travel. When you there's a whole simulation layer going underneath for the medieval battles of like thousands of NPCs fighting one another. So you can try and travel across the map, pop out, go back to the present, go to the other side of the map, go back to the medieval times, and just lay to the enemies as they're still going on in real time. Also, the semi-voxel level environmental destruction is really fucking cool. Like, there's no reason why that should be in there, but it is. And it just looks like...
That's how they got you, Chris Davis. Admit it.
Oh, they had me the minute I could go back and shoot a bunch of knights with a machine gun. Like, I was sold. You have me. You had me. And then he cuts to a scene where he's driving a tank through a bunch of medieval buildings. I'm like, yes.
This is what's so like fucked up. This is the difference between me and you. I see like if you give me a setting where like tanks and dudes with guns are like invading medieval times, I still want to be the dude with the sword. I'll be like, give me my horse and my sword. I'm taking this tank down.
Okay. I understand that. I
dude with the
appreciate
gun.
that perspective. You did not play
That's
nearly as
bold.
much totally epic battle simulator as I did.
I did play some though.
That was a pretty fun game, legitimately. No, this game just looks like a lot of fun. It's probably going to have a very rough launch. It's probably going to be years before it's actually really good, let alone out of early access. But I can't help but kind of root for it. I just love what they're stating they want to do with it.
Yep. I mean, it definitely looks interesting. Yeah. I'm not entirely surprised you picked that, but I'm glad I got a call out. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I mean, not really. I don't care about that game, but I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
All right. My second pick for the night is a game from a new game from a series that I have never cared for much. And that would be Shinobi Art of Vengeance.
Oh.
Okay.
This is a new entry in the Shinobi series, kind of unlike at least the ones that I'm familiar with. Again, I have almost no history with this franchise. I think I played the one on PS2, which is a very different animal. But this is a 2D action platformer with an art style. I think that's done by it's the art team that did.
So it's .emu, and it's the people, you know.
Streets of Rage 4, right?
Well.
At least from the art style,
.emu has its like fingers in like so many of the games coming out in the back half of the year. You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
But specifically, Lizard Cube, I believe, is actually developing Shinobi. They did
words. Let's see if
I think they also helped with Streets of Rage 4. Like 3 different studios worked on like Streets of Rage 4. That's what's crazy. So they worked on Streets of Rage 4, and before that, I believe they did other stuff in this art style.
Oh, they did Wonder Boy.
Wonder Boy, yeah.
So yeah, like my interest in this game is kind of unexpected. It keeps sneaking up on me. It's just one of those things. Like every time I see a trailer for it, I'm like, God damn, this looks sick as hell. And
it's sick. And the previews have been very good. People are saying
it
good
looks
things about
fun.
this one.
It looks flashy. It's got a great look to it. It's just kind of, for me also, it's just very much like a great palate cleanser, because so many of the games I've played so far this year have been, you know, these like huge open world AAA kind of things, which I love, but like this is decidedly different, and I think it's going to be kind of like the perfect palate cleanser for me. And it's coming out, I think, next month, or no, it's in August.
August, yeah.
And
Ragebound,
yeah, I think it's
just next month. It's so funny because
Ragebound is the that's not the Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, it's Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. So there's a side-scrolling Ninja Gaiden and a side-scrolling Shinobi game, which the two ninja side-scrollers from the 90s.
Yeah,
like they're
both series that I have little to no history with, and Ninja Gaiden, as we've talked about recently, is a series that I just never really had an interest in. And I might end up playing this one just because it's a different formula. So we'll see. But like of the two, Shinobi Art of Vengeance,
I think Shinobi is definitely
more appealing to me.
One that Ninja Gaiden feels more like old, like run and gun, like fast paced. Like Shinobi's more about like sick ass combos and stuff. I think you'll like Shinobi more, honestly. And it's got the more appealing art style to a plebe like you who doesn't respect quality pixel art. I mean, they both look good. They both look good. But Shinobi's definitely like the fancier looking one, I think, visually.
Just side question for you, Nick. Did you ever play The Messenger?
The Messenger was a good one.
I did not play The Messenger.
Dude, you should totally play The Messenger. It is so fucking good.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I think that's in our Steam library. That'd be a pretty easy one for me to play.
That was my number one game that year.
I remember.
From the developers of Sea of Stars.
Yes.
We know.
I did love me some Sea of Stars, so yeah. All right, Brad.
A good soundtrack, that's for fun.
What's your number one pick?
Yeah.
My number one pick for unexpected pick coming out in the back half of 2025. What did I write down? Oh, this is just. There's a few of these, but I think it's an. I think maybe I've mentioned it before, but it's an indie game that I'm more excited about than you probably expect. I've played a lot on Steam. I've also downloaded the demo for PlayStation 5, and I've been playing it there. But it's the climbing game Cairn, which finally got a release date.
Yeah.
Cairn, CAIRN. Cairn.
CAIRN. The stacking of stones. Cairn.
Oh, is that what that means?
Yeah. I mean,
I thought it might have also been like a climbing term or something. I don't know.
A cairn, at least in the context I've usually heard, is when you like balance the stones on top of each other. I don't know what.
So if Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is made by the Game Kitchen, the developers of Cairn are the Game Bakers, which is funny.
Not to be confused, yeah.
Not to be confused. I think they're most known for their game Fury, which was like that boss. It's like that top-down like boss fighting game where you only fought bosses.
That game that like it gave me flashbacks. Yeah. That game was hard as balls. It gave me flashbacks to what's the fucking what's the hard ass game on the Wii that was Travis? What's the boss rush game?
Oh my God. No More Heroes.
No More Heroes. Yes, it gave me serious No More Heroes flashbacks.
Oh yeah, but that game was only bosses. But that's a well-liked game. I didn't play their follow-up game Haven that much, but I know people like that. But this one, for some reason, and maybe it's not too surprising because I have long since bitched about how there's no like skill to like climbing around things anymore. It's mostly just like zero stakes traversal that they do to like load in the next level and let you talk to Atreus a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I kind of miss when climbing on things had stakes to it. I'm a classic Tomb Raider fan, Eco, Shadow of the Colossus, and this is a very like free form cliff climbing game. It's like Jusant was like an arcade racer. This is more like a Gran Turismo of climbing. You know what I mean? Like there's more going on here. It's less arcadey of a climbing game. And for whatever reason, man, from the look to the atmosphere to like the mechanics, every single thing about this game is clicking with me. And it is such a, I can already tell it. Like I get the feelings playing it like I did when I played something like Grow Home and Grow Up, which are like games I love probably more than the average person. Like I can already tell with this game that it's just like clicking with me so hard.
I mean, I'm sure there's a little bit of like a little bit of classic Tomb Raider in there, because we all know you're a slut for classic Tomb Raider when it comes to like,
exactly. That's what I said. Like realistic platforming. Not the Mario 64 platforming, but like the Tomb Raider branch of platforming.
Not the Uncharted Assassin's Creed sticking to the walls platforming.
The other thing I get, and I will say, I've played a couple of hours of the first Death Stranding recently. Like, this is a bit of a Strand game. Like, just like in Death Stranding, where like mechanically and mentally you have to be all there or you're going to fall on your ass. It's kind of the same. This is a bit of a Strand game, right? But instead of just walking across a rocky plain or whatever, you're climbing up these cliffs, and that's just working for me, man. I love everything about it. I like rewatch trailers for this game on the regular. I'm getting really excited. So I don't know. Maybe there's other people excited for this. I didn't even finish.
Brucey the Wizard in chat has played the demo for 10 hours, so I think he's pretty hyped.
There's people out there like me, I guess. I don't know. For whatever reason, this is
you're not alone.
Like a vibes based game. I just wanna play Cairn. I don't know.
Hey man, vibes are important.
I'm just glad the final release is coming out this year. I was worried it might get pushed or whatever. I'm still mad at Crispy for this is one of the ones he poached off of my Super League Fantasy Critic roster. Yep. That asshole. And I think it's going to score well, but I don't know. I mean, like based on vibes and feelings, my gut tells me this one's going to do well. Even though it's
will it pay the indie tax?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. There's always the indie tax, and the animations can be a little clunky, but like or weird, not clunky, but it doesn't matter. Like it's very rare that like you play a game with like such weird, like, oh, it doesn't make sense that the leg is doing this right now, but you don't care. It's like you're just all in. And like, I'm excited about baby steps just as much as the next guy, but this is the Strand game for me, the Strand spinoff for me this year. Very excited.
Cool.
I'm excited for baby steps as well.
I need to play that demo.
Did you know baby steps, even though it's a Bennett Foddy, Bennett Foddy vision, like directed game or whatever, it's actually made by, like, the game itself is made by the people who made Ape Out. You remember Ape Out? The fucking gorilla, the top-down gorilla,
I do.
Kind of like a Hotline Miami game with a gorilla with like a cool art style. They're the ones working on Baby Steps.
Wow, that's unexpected.
It is unexpected,
cool
but
pivot,
like,
though. All right, Chris Davis, what's your final pick for the night?
My final pick is very much more me slop, and I don't expect you all to understand, but I need to explain myself. It is Cleared Hot. Cleared Hot is a indie game that is coming out sometime later this year. Demo's available now on Steam. It is a fan-made spiritual successor to the Desert Strike series.
Oh, that's right.
The helicopter game, unexpected.
Yeah, I know, right? The Strike series is near and dear to my heart. I think Jungle Strike is like my number 6 of my games of all time list. I love them dearly, and it has been painful to see how that franchise has been basically dormant, if not extinct, since like 2002, 2003. Like, the last anything that was remotely coded towards Desert Strike and all the other Strike games was Mercenaries, Playgrounds of Destruction, because Mercenaries started out life as a new vision for the Strike series.
Oh, I did not know that, actually.
Yes.
That's cool.
Pandemics basically designed it to be that at first, and then they've really pivoted. But
kind of like how Devil May Cry started out as a Resident Evil game.
Yeah. These things happen. That period of like 5 years was really full of that. But no, this is I'm really looking forward to this. It is entirely strongly physics based. The thing about the core loop of the Strike games was that you went around on a open map, you had objectives to do, and most of the time you were blowing up the enemy, but you were also using your helicopter's hook and ladder system to pick up resources on the map to resupply yourself, rearm yourself, and also rescue people that are on the map, or even kidnap enemy officers to use for objectives. In this, it's now physics based, and so you can use the hook and ladder for that, but so much more. You could pick up boulders that are found on the map to throw at enemies. You can, if a missile launcher, if a missile's launched at you, you can time your hook to snag onto the missile and use your rotation of your helicopter to launch the missile back at the guy who shot at you.
Just like real life.
Like a sim.
Yeah, like a sim.
Helicopter sim.
Yeah, totally. This is totally not Hot Shots Part 2, you know? No, I'm really, really looking forward to this. I have the demo. I've been meaning to play it for a while now. I just haven't made time for it.
You ever seen that helicopter rescue where they're like lifting like some woman up in like a...
Oh, yeah, and she's spinning.
And then she starts spinning faster and faster and faster. I laugh every time, but like that's gotta have been very traumatic for that woman.
Oh, certainly, yeah.
She probably passed out eventually, but
oh, certainly,
still funny for me.
She probably thought that was the end right there. Yeah, fuck.
But no, this game looks really fucking good, and it's speaking to me in every right way possible. So
nice.
Looking forward to it.
Cool. All right. The moment has come, Brad, as you hinted earlier. This is strangely enough, Dying Light: The Beast.
The Beast
is
the Beast.
It's unusual for me, not because I'm not a Dying Light fan. In fact, I'm a huge Dying Light fan, but I was incredibly disappointed by Dying Light 2. I followed that game for years. I saw it at E3 several times and walked away super impressed, only to find out that when I played the final game, it was kind of a mess. I mean, it was fun. It had its moments, but like
why
so
do you
much.
hate Rosario Dawson?
Oh man, it had Rosario Dawson, man. How do you fuck it up? How can you put Rosario Dawson in your game and somehow still make her character and her story boring as shit?
There is no excusing the last 4 hours of that game. That is inexcusable.
Yeah, the final stretch of that game really, really ruined it for me because it just fell apart. It felt incomplete. It felt broken. It felt like they shipped an incomplete product, and that was super disappointing, especially coming off of Dying Light 1, which I loved, and Dying Light the following. Was it the following where you're driving around in the buggies? Yeah, fucking loved both of those games. So I'm hoping that Dying Light the Beast learns from their mistakes with Dying Light 2. It looks like it's definitely going in a slightly different direction. I think it's a little bit smaller map. It's more, the environment is more of like a wooded area, which I think is going to be interesting. Not quite as vertical, because like Dying Light 2 is largely skyscrapers and shit. Like it was a really big vertical city, which I'm a little worried because like that was maybe my favorite part of Dying Light 2 was how vertical it was. But like the stuff they're doing here with you get infected with the virus and you get these like superhuman abilities that you can use to like wail on zombies.
Well, it's the same character from the first game.
It's the same character from the first game, which again I love the first game. I'm just hoping it has a lot more in common with the first game than the second game.
Which, by the way, did you hear the news today about Dying Light?
What are you showing me? Oh. What are you showing us, Brad? Is this the woman spinning on the helicopter?
Dude, she was 74 years old.
Oh, no.
74.
Oh, I hope she's okay. I hope she's okay.
Is this your first time seeing that, Chris Davis?
I've never seen that, no.
Oh, man,
that is terrible. I am so sorry.
Ooh, it's so bad. Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Anyways, thank you for that interruption,
Look
Brad.
at this fucking, like, 2008 ass comment we just got in chat.
Who's the fourth person?
I thought this was 4Player podcast.
Our fourth person is vacationing in Ohio.
He's at a baseball game. Hush.
He was at a baseball game in Ohio tonight. That's what I can tell you.
But no, did you see the Dying Light news that happened today?
I did not. What did I miss today?
What?
Techland is releasing a quote unquote retouched update for Dying Light 1. They're not calling it
2 is the one that needs the update.
They're not calling it a remaster. I mean, it's the 10-year anniversary of Dying Light 1. So they're not calling it a remaster, but they're updating a lot of the visuals. They're put in work towards the music. And it's an update that's available for free across basically every platform.
That's cool. That's cool. Updating the music is weird to me because the soundtrack was fantastic in the first Dying Light and the second Dying Light. I love the soundtrack for both those games. I listen to them on the regular. I keep saying Dying Light 2 is maybe the one that needs the most work, but at the same time, like, there's no amount of work they can do to fix that story. Like, it was somehow.
I put Dying Light 2 on my top.
I know you did. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I could not bring myself to do it. I was so disappointed. But Dying Light the Beast looks neat, and I think it has the potential to be a return to form for the series. Because
just skipped all the cutscenes. It was.
I can't do that, man.
It was.
I can't do it.
To play.
I had a good time.
Parkour and zombies and fun.
I had a good enough time. I had a good enough time with the story in Dying Light 1. I mean, it was dumb, like turn your brain off story, but like I enjoyed it. And it was fucking scary at night running around in Dying Light 1. And I don't know if I ever felt quite as frightened running around Dying Light 2 at night. I don't know. It was such a missed opportunity in my opinion, and I'm really really hoping and praying that the Beast kind of gets back to basics and course corrects for the series. And if it does, it could be in my top 10 this year. I love that series so much. So
just make going out at night like a scary, rewarding experience. Yeah, that was the biggest flaw of Dying Light 2.
I mean,
I don't understand. I played Dying Light 2. You couldn't just stroll around at night without getting fucked up. Like, what were y'all talking? What are y'all talking about?
I'm not saying you couldn't. I'm not saying it was Dying Light. I played all the way through it, man. There was a part of me that enjoyed Dying Light 2 as well. I just know ultimately when it was all said and done, I was not happy with it compared to the first game and the following.
I'll tell you, my problem was that they nerfed the nightmares. The nightmare enemies, which were supposed to be like, they were the ultimate enemy in the first game. They completely removed them from the base loop of night gameplay, except for like the last stage of an encounter, of a chase. And it was so easy to game that there was no reason to not go out at night.
Yeah.
Dying Light 1 eventually got like that as well, though, right? I mean, I feel like you're remembering like the first half of Dying Light 1's nighttime gameplay.
Hey man, I played a fuck ton of Dying Light 1, and again, I will say this wholeheartedly. I think the final chunk of Dying Light 2 did a lot of the heavy lifting when it came to really turning me against that game.
Yeah, I believe.
So as long as the Beast comes out and it feels complete, and maybe the story isn't as like boring as shit, like it can be stupid, it can be dumb, as long as it's kind of thrilling. I don't care how dumb it is, and I'm saying that as someone who really appreciates story in games.
What if the Beast is voiced by James McAvoy? Then would you be like stoked?
No, it has to. I mean, sure, it'd be cool, but like that's not. It's got to be. It's got to be.
I hate those movies.
I know, but hey man, the Beast, Dying Light the Beast looks like it. Also, it's going to have more of an emphasis on guns, which could be maybe a misstep. I don't know.
The stupidest misstep of 2, I think,
was putting more emphasis on guns.
No, was not having them in it at all.
Oh.
They had a narrative reason for not putting him in there, and it was the stupidest shit. And they two updates later, they added it back in.
I forgot their whole thing in Dying Light 2. Like their marketing keyword or brand they were going with was like, what was it, like future medieval I forgot what it was, but they were just somebody go look up their buzzword for Dying Light 2. I can't remember what it was, but it was something dumb like. It was supposed to explain why it was present day, even though they were in the future and nobody had guns.
The government took away all the guns.
Yeah. So I just hope the gunplay is good, because it's never really had gunplay before, and I don't want them to introduce it and have it suck.
I mean, also, I don't want gunplay. It just hasn't been good gunplay.
I also don't want it to like lessen the other mechanics that make the game actually great, like the parkour and the melee stuff is all really good. If guns somehow undercut that gameplay, it's going to be a huge mistake. So I don't know what's happened. I don't know what to expect, but like I really, really, really hope they deliver. But I am excited to find out one way or the other. I'm super excited to find out. So, anyways, enough about that, guys. I think we've reached the end. Is there any honorable mentions y'all want to quickly throw out?
What? We're doing honorable mentions.
I don't know. I'm just giving you a chance.
Whole back half of the year.
All right, fine. Fuck it.
Well, so I'm sorry.
We did talk about 19 games, 20 if you count Donkey Kong at the beginning. So
I'm kind of excited for Crimson Desert. I hope it's good.
Yeah.
I hope it
that
pays,
looks sick as hell. I hope it's
if it's not actually just secretly a Dynasty Warriors game, which I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Also, the Trails in the Sky, the first remake is exciting because it is a remake of the first Trails of game, which Trails in game. So I don't know. I'm kind of excited to play that. You know, best.
I'll go ahead and throw out Hell is Us.
I was about to mention that.
Could be a really cool thing. I don't know what to expect so far. So I was hesitant to put it on my official list. But
these
I am
more obvious,
eager to see.
But I'm super excited about Luminez Arise and Ninja Gaiden 4. Like, there's a lot of cool shit coming out this year still. Yeah. So I'm stoked.
Luminez Arise looks badass. I was not expecting a new Luminez game to drop this year, but here we are.
Yeah, Witchbrook looks awesome to me.
That ain't coming out. That was a good counter, by the way. That was a good counter.
Look, we have once again not talked about Fantasy Critic, and I finally made some moves. Right,
this wasn't a Fantasy Critic thing, but okay.
I know, but I spent a lot of money to make sure I counterpicked Witchbrook because I needed to ensure that I don't take any more L's.
I would have countered.
And I'm pretty sure Witchbrook is a safe goose egg.
I think it's a no ship, and I think it's
no way
even if it does ship, I don't even think it's gonna like live up to the hype.
But to your credit, when it does drop, it's gonna be sick.
Maybe that might not.
I have more counterpicked games than I have non-counterpicked games, and I hate
that. Is true. That is. I mean, there was
funny.
A time.
Even your new games are getting counterpicked.
They are.
Counterpicked Unbeatable, by the way. You counterpicked Unbeatable.
I countered that as well. Yeah.
Also a good counterpick, dude.
I hope that burns
if you go on the forums
much.
for that game, like people are talking so much shit about the writing. It's like people were kind of vibing with it, but like for whatever reason, people were kind of disappointed in that demo.
Are these the same people that are review bombing Monster Hunter Wilds?
I don't think
probably
it's the same.
There could be some overlap.
I don't think it's
there,
the same
but
people.
the
That's
same
for
reasons.
like tech reasons and stuff.
I mean,
look.
This is the
counterpicks
internet.
are hard this year. Counterpicks are hard this year, and I want Unbeatable to be good. But I'm also getting a vibe where it's going to come out at like a 71, which would be a safe counter.
It is an indie game.
It's gonna pay the indie tax.
You want to talk some bullshit about Fantasy Critic? Lost Records Bloom and Rage. It didn't have a whole lot of reviews, and there was a review that came out a few days ago for like the second tape, which came out 2-3 months ago, and it single-handedly knocked the score down 5 points.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of drama. I heard them talk about that on the Fantasy Critic Discord. Something funky happened there, but.
Anyways, we don't need to start going into a Fantasy Critic diatribe.
Well, I don't know. I do think it's funny that you picked up 3 like horror games as your most recent like pickups, right? Like you're putting your faith in Bloober, which is interesting. I hope it works out for you. But like,
I mean, they didn't. They delivered last year, and I mean, it's a gamble. It's a gamble.
We'll see. After Carlos picked up Lumines, he suddenly became pretty dangerous. He also picked up Silent Hill, which I don't know if
it's like Silent Hill, but yeah,
I don't know if it's the best.
I didn't think anybody else was gonna snatch that from
Honestly,
me. So
I agree.
I didn't go.
I agree with you. Yeah. I'm surprised that you actually won those. In fact, I even thought that you were like lowballing those as a distraction to try to grab Lumines.
Nope.
But you ended up losing that and Silent Hill, which is surprising.
I made some moves though, god damn it.
I appreciate that because there are other people that are not, mostly Nolan.
Carlos stole Luminous from me with a bid of $31.
That's not how that works.
31.
You also said I stole blueprints from you, bro, but that's not how it works. It's public bidding. We just wanted it more than you because we spent more than you.
Carlos,
like, if anything, it's
Carlos stole
multiple layers of not yours. In fact, all it proves is that we believed in those games more than you, Chris.
Wait, whoa. Okay, here, I see that now, Nick. He quote unquote stole Silent Hill F from you with a bid of $8. Bro.
Look. First of all,
no, but that's fine because I wouldn't overvalue Silent Hill. It has a higher risk of not scoring high.
I bid low on Silent Hill F, not because I don't believe in it, but because I had to be careful with my money because I was putting $20 on Witchbrook to counterpick Witchbrook because I wanted to make sure I got that, and I figured that people, first of all, still, even though Silent Hill 2 was amazing, don't have a ton of faith in Konami or Silent Hill yet, and the studio is far from proven and is not a sure thing, and I figured that maybe $5 would be enough to get by.
You got to secure it. You got to secure like a 0, right? Same thing for my like Super League. I spent like a lot of money countering Phantom Blade 0 or whatever because I knew it wasn't going to ship this year. I mean, all that matters is that you're the one who gets the game, so I wouldn't stress about how much you're spending on stuff as long as you get it. That's what matters.
I mean, I still have a couple slots to fill, and I still feel fine. I'm glad I got the counter picks that I wanted. So
I think Crispy might be winning this year, though, y'all.
Crispy is formidable for sure.
More than formidable. Right. He is a killer.
Yeah. All right, guys. We need to wrap it up. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it. I hope this gets you excited for the rest of the year because there's going to be a lot of fun stuff to play and talk about. Next time we meet, we'll probably be talking a little bit about Death Stranding 2, which is exciting. But of course, in the meantime, in between episodes, which we record on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Central Time on twitch.tv/4Player Podcast, all spelled out. But in between episodes, you can, of course, be a part of the community, hang out, talk about games, talk about movies, talk about whatever in our Discord at discord.gg/4player. You can find all of our links, including all of our previous episodes, on 4playernetwork.com or your preferred podcast service. But yeah, we'll be back next week to talk about more video games. So in the meantime, be good to each other, play video games. Good night.
82 my ass, dude. If DK's an 82, then I'll let you have it. I don't know if you'll want
like
it.
You'll let them what?
I was gonna you can have it in Fantasy Critic. It's a free gift from me to you, Chris Davis, unless your roster's full.
I mean, my roster is not full, but either way, I'm gonna have to end up buying Lost Records.
What you mean?
You're gonna
Super
buy
dropping
Lost Records? What are you saying? Oh, because you're gonna have to play it.
Yeah.
Your low.
Oh,
you think that's gonna be your lowest rated game?
Yes. Because everything else is not going to end up being rated because it's not going to come out.
You have some pretty crazy counters, man.
Yeah, no fucking shit, you pieces of...
Because it looks like Hades 2 might come out this year. Which, if Hades 2 drops, then Ed's back on the menu, right? Or back on the...
Meat's back on the Barbie
back in the kitchen.
Something.
Back in the... He's cooking again.
Something cooking.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest will do just fine, Wing.
It's a lot closer this year, I will say. And I will also, Nolan doesn't have a lot of games, but he's not in terrible shape. He just doesn't have games. He needs... Death Stranding did better than expected, I think. A little bit, at least. I think I was expecting high 80s for this one. Just because, it was trending in that direction. When a re-release, like a director's cut or a remaster or whatever of a game scores higher than the original, you can definitely tell vibes are good, right? Because usually those go down a little bit. But the director's cut actually scored quite a bit better than the original version of Death Stranding, which to me says that people were overly harsh on it at release.
Mm-hmm.
There's one, what was I looking at? There's one.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I think Metroid Prime 4 is going to do really well, because that remaster of Metroid Prime 1 scored crazy high for a remaster. I don't think I've ever seen a remaster of a game scored that was a 94 or something on Metacritic or some crazy shit like that, which is highly unusual for a remaster. So I think the critics still adore Metroid Prime. So I think that's going to do really well, which is probably what's going to make Crispy the killer that he is. That and he's got perfect counter picks right now, and just a lot of good stolen pickups. Motherfucker. I mean, he's only L skin deep, which is weirdly low. I don't know. But Alters came out. Alters did really well. And one that I still need to play. One that I'm surprised neither of y'all have started, but I guess everyone's playing some shit. But the Alters sounds crazy.
I started the Alters and then quickly realized that I need to come back to this when I'm not also trying to play some other big game, because it seems like
I've heard stories of people who've been playing the Alters. It is very high stakes. Shit goes down in that game. It sounds crazy.
I'm currently
of the opinion that I want to find time for it this year.
Yeah,
I'm doing Telltale. You're not making Telltale choices in this one.
Yeah, I'm doing summer game homework right now.
Frostpunk choices. You know what I'm saying?
You're doing Sorry, you're doing what, Chris Davis?
I'm doing summer game homework right now, so I'm not going to be playing anything new for a while.
What is that?
Summer game homework? What the fuck are you talking about?
Going back and getting educated about a few things that I missed.
Still don't know what you're talking about.
Now you'll find out next week when we have the show.
A fucking
All right.
secret. You and your secrets.
You and your wasting time.
Wasting time.
Hey,
you
real
will
quick,
apologize for those words come next week.
Before I bounce, I just want to
He's
mention
replaying Death
that
Stranding.
I just want to mention that I went and saw 28 Years Later. Dude,
It's good.
That movie's legit. Straight like so good, and also like strangely enough like beautiful. like visually stunning in ways that I wasn't
that's
expecting.
Not surprising. Like I think 28 Days Later was very visually
beautiful in a very, very different way than 28 Days Later. There are
so
literal
violent,
scenes,
beautifully violent.
No, not even violence. I mean, there are super violent parts, obviously, but like there is a scene in 28 Years Later that involves two characters being chased, and they're running through water, like that's kind of like up to their knees, I guess, and they're trying to like make it to a point, right? And it's at night, and it's like the way it's edited and the way it's shot, it almost looks like they're running through space. Like it looks like they're running through the stars, but they're also running through water. I don't know how to describe it. It's so fucking beautiful.
It's like the light reflecting the stars. Yeah.
Yeah, but and it's done very intentionally to make it feel like they're running through like the vastness of space.
Okay. The ending? I have a question. Did you?
Oh, I don't think I can talk about that.
Okay.
I don't want to hear about that.
Well, no. What I'm asking is like, you're aware that there's the next movie in the franchise comes out in January.
In January, they've already filmed. It's a trilogy, and they've already filmed the second one.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm out.
Something like the Blood and Skull Tower, or something like that.
The Bone Temple, I think, is what it's
called.
called.
The Bone Temple.
I gotta do this shit. Everything. Nothing is sacred.
No, there's nothing sacred.
I mean, I will say this: 28 Years Later is, in my opinion, easily the best of the series so far. Yeah, 100%. But it is. Also, I will say this because I was talking to Jaeger in chat, and I'm not going to give anything away about the ending. But the ending apparently makes way more sense to people who live in the UK.
Okay.
For people who don't live in the UK, it's very, very bizarre. People in the UK know exactly what the fuck is happening. People in America were like, "What the fuck?" And I'll just leave it at that. So if you have questions about the ending of 28 Years Later, go into our Discord and talk to Jaeger. He'll explain it. Dude, I rewatched 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later in the week before watching 28 Years Later. Or sorry, what did I say? Yeah, 28 days and 28 weeks.
They don't hold up.
No, I mean, I liked them for very different reasons. And I completely forgot 28 Weeks Later has Jeremy Renner and Idris Elba in it, which I thought was interesting. But yeah, I mean, they're both fine movies, but like 28 Years Later kind of it's like, I don't know. 28 Days Later is artful because of its budget and because they used that budget and went so far with it. This movie is artful because they have a much bigger budget and they did some truly like masterful things with it.
So what's better, 28 Years Later or season 2 of The Last of Us? See, you see,
you're a dumb bitch.
28 Years Later, of course, right? I've not even seen the movie, but I agree with you.
First of all, I didn't answer your question.
You know I'm right.
I wouldn't even think to compare them. I love that story so much. It's totally different. And everything I've said about 28 Years Later really is not even have much to do with the story. I'm talking about like editing and visual design and just cinematography. Like it's insane. There's also lots of dong.
Lots of what?
Dong.
Oh, dicks.
Dicks. Lots of dicks.
Oh, zombie dicks.
Zombie dicks. Yeah. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Noted. I watched Lilo and Stitch.
The remake?
I heard they kind of butchered it from like thematically speaking.
I disagree with that. I watched it. I liked it overall.
I took my children. Why did you go see Lilo and Stitch?
Because I think that's my favorite 2D animated Disney film.
What? Really?
That's serious. That's serious.
Hey, yes. my wife would probably say the same thing, and she wanted to go see it until she heard that
Lilo and Stitch, huh?
They apparently completely changed the like thematic undertones of the story.
Yeah, they did, but
what are you talking
honestly,
about?
I mean, so here's the thing. My primary complaint about it is that
Don't ask me. I've actually never seen Lilo and Stitch, so I'm not the right person to be even talking about it. I'm just saying from what I've heard, people who are big fans of it.
The ending is different. It very much is. The themes are the same.
Yeah, there's something
to do with like the main character deciding to leave Lilo and go to college or something, which completely changes like the thematic through line of the story. I don't know anything about Lilo and Stitch, so I'm butchering this argument, I'm sure, but I've seen a lot of people who are like, they did that story.
Sister should have stayed with Lilo, is what they're saying.
I mean, here's the thing:
not
is
gone
that
to college?
Yeah,
I think they're saying that she should live for herself and not just her family.
In my opinion, Nani had the best glow up for the remake. Like, she actually has a proper subplot now. She has a whole character arc going on. Like, I understand that. I implore you, please go watch the original. But
I'm gonna go watch the original.
It's still a kids movie. I mean,
it is. The thing that eats me about the remake is that the comedy is basically the same from the original, but because it's a 6-year-old making this comedy and it's coming at you so fast, the jokes don't have time to breathe, so you miss so much.
What?
That wasn't a
joke.
I don't know.
I mean, Lilo and Stitch. I don't know. I mean, whatever. If you think Lilo and Stitch is absolute cinema, then maybe we just don't see eye to eye. I like Lilo and Stitch, but like, they seem pretty similar to me.
Oh, it's 80% similar. It's just they altered the ultimate villain of the film, and it's a different ending sequence. Apart from that, it's pretty much mostly the same.
I actually couldn't remember how the original movie ended. I think they just wanted to go out with a bang. They didn't have a portal gun in Lilo and Stitch, the animated one, right?
They
just straight up have a portal gun. They even do like the portal gun like thing that everyone does when they get a portal gun in Portal and make an infinite
drop.
Infinite
fall. Yeah.
Like, but it works. Is Valve gonna sue Disney? What's going on here?
It works though. That moment. I'm pretty
sure the original Lilo and Stitch. Or no, you said this is the live action. Never mind. I take that back. All right. I've sat here and talked way too much about Lilo and Stitch, considering I've never seen either of them. So
unacceptable.
I'm just telling you what I've heard and seen on the internet.
So watch it this weekend. Because the age that you are. How old were you when Lilo and Stitch came out, Chris?
Dude, I'm only saying that because my wife is a huge fan of Lilo and Stitch, and she's outraged and she's refusing to watch the remake. Now.
I was probably 16, I think, when it came out, because it was like 03,
no,
02.
She's not gonna pay to watch it.
You were how old?
She might watch it on Disney Plus.
Let me see when did Lilo?
I have no idea how old Chris Davis is. I bet he was 13 when that came out. 14,
when did Lilo and Stitch came out? In 2002, so I would have been 16.
My wife was 10 years old.
Yeah, you're a little bit old for Lilo and Stitch in 2002. Were you just really into like Hawaii, or what's going on? How you feel about Moana?
Moana's fine. I've only seen it once.
Moana's fine. Dude, Moana mogs Lilo and Stitch.
All right, I'm out. Peace.
Chat. Moana 1 mogs Lilo and Stitch, right? Am I right? Chat.
Don't listen to him. Don't
Moana?
listen to this man.
Moana?
Moana is a good movie. I'm not denying that, but it's not Lilo and Stitch.
You just like the part where he says, the family was broken, but still good.
No, I like Pudge the Fish. I like Blue Punch Buggy.
Who the fuck is Pudge the Fish? What are you talking about?
Pudge the Fish is like the opening speech from Lilo at the beginning of that movie. She's explaining why she was late to the recital.
Means family.
Like I don't. Maybe you need to go back and watch the original.
Dude, they were watching the animated ones like fucking like for weeks before this live action one. Did you watch the sequels to Lilo and Stitch?
I think I watched the sequel. I watched some of the TV show.
You were legally allowed to drive, and you're watching the Lilo and Stitch TV show, Chris Davis. What the fuck?
So man? Fucking what? It's good entertainment.
I don't know, man.
Fuck off.
Guess. I mean, whatever. It's not bad. Best animated Disney movie?
It's my favorite.
Better than Moana? Crazy. That's crazy. Chat. We don't have much of chat, but chat agrees with me. If there was more chat than we have of chat,
my puppy has a chainsaw.
Moana Mog's Lilo. And
what does Mog even fucking mean? Use English.
Old man. Look at this old man.
I don't need to hear this from you, AARP motherfucker. Fucking already getting his retirement money bullshit. Fuck that man. Lilo and Stitch 1 is great. It's a great movie. Cobra Bubbles is a work of art. The deadpan delivery of most of Lilo's lines from the original film is so good. It is such a good movie. I'm not saying it's the absolute peak of Disney 2D cinema. I'm not saying that at all. But it's my personal favorite. Moana is fine. It's a good movie. But I'm not compelled to see it again. I mean, here's the thing, Slade, is that Lilo and Stitch, it wasn't nearly as popular elsewhere in the world as it was in Japan. Like, it had a huge following in Japan. Like, this movie, this remake would not have existed without the huge fan base in Japan. So, you know what? I mean, like I said, the problem with the remake is that they don't give the jokes enough time to breathe because it's a 6-year-old saying them and they've got to go and they've got a run time. They just got to go. And a 6-year-old isn't going to take pause for people to think about what's happening. It's a 6-year-old. They're running around doing highly energetic shit. But in the original, like, because it is an adult acting out a 6-year-old character, like, they give time for the jokes to breathe, for you to actually take in what they're saying. I mean, that's the first problem with the remake. The other problem is that is Jumba. They turned Jumba into a villain. And I understand Captain Gantu being like an 11th hour villain in the original is not ideal because he doesn't have much of a presence throughout the rest of the film. It's just he suddenly shows up and he's the villain in the original. And, you know, having Jumba have a character arc with redemption and value to him versus in the remake where he doubles down on being a villain. Like, I understand why you could go that route, but that route is too easy for you to write. It's not as fun. It's just not as fun. But the whole subplot with Nani and how she's struggling to find a job and how she's desperate to take care of her sister while balancing out the fact that she does want to get on with her life, that she didn't have the option to when their parents died, and how she has this network of friends and extended family who are going out of the way to support her. The struggles of being a single parent, let alone a guardian of a small child in a very extenuating circumstances. Like, she has such a good subplot, man. They could have made this movie just 20 minutes longer and just let the jokes breathe a little bit more, let people have time to react to them, to understand what's going on, give Nani a little bit more time on her own, and just stretch it out just here and there, just little things. You don't even have to try to adhere more to the original film. You don't even have to do that. Just give the movie a little bit more runtime to breathe, for people to get used to it, and I think people would like it a lot better. And I disagree with people who are calling out like the ending of it. Like, it's the entire conceit of why the ending went that way is answered by the portal gun. And if you didn't see that coming like 20 minutes before the end happened, then you weren't paying attention. Because the portal gun is such a big part of like Jumba's like weaponry and everything that's happening in the movie. Like, of course they were going to use it for some kind of reason like that. There could be a happy ending for Nani on her own, moving on with her life, while also taking care of Lilo. Everyone can have their cake and eat it too sometimes. The only other misstep is Cobra Bubbles. Cobra Bubbles should have remained like an ex-Men in Black who interacted with aliens in the past, was the reason why Earth was saved from destruction for its purpose of rebuilding the mosquito population. Like, bro, Cobra Bubbles was incredible in the original. And they should have gotten Ving Rhames. I think it should have been Ving Rhames. But anyway. All right, it's 11:20. I've got work in the morning. Got stuff to do. I need to cut it. Y'all have a pleasant evening. See you in Discord. Goodbye.